Shout out to everybody. We back, man. What's up with this? Y'all ain't slick. We was wildin'. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. We gonna get back to the confirmation hearing of Pam Bondi. You know what I'm saying? I got everything cleared. So the video is like processing right now. Shout out to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep this going and listen to what's going on. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Y'all already know what it is. Thug Life. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? We had a good live. You know, we didn't say nothing too out of the ordinary, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to YouTube. The video is processing right now. You know what I'm saying? So the video is staying up, but we gonna keep talking about this. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna say it like that. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I can't wait. But shout out to Pam Bondi. I think the last video, we gonna get back to this. The last video ended up doing, let's see, Mom Magazine. We did 54,000 views. Let's see what we can get with this one.
Of course I do. Do I agree with what happened? And I saw so much, you know, no one from either side of the aisle should want there to be any issues with election integrity.
What y'all think about all that, though? Pam Bondi and everything. What y'all think? What y'all think about this?
Our country. We should all want our elections to be free and fair.
I want to.
Fair and
you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to, but I mean, I don't know, man, because it's like 9 hours for me to get there, and then it's like, then they're not even gonna have him outside. So if he's not gonna be outside, what is the point of going there? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Somebody said, am I late or are we getting started? We just getting started with this. We had to do another one. Shout out. It was OBS. It wasn't none. It was OBS cutting out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But if he's in a parade or something, I would go. But if not, I'm staying here.
the rules and the laws to be followed.
I need to get glasses like that. Hear, hear, Pam. Well, Durbin, of course, didn't lay a glove on her, and neither did the other anti-Trump grumps, who seem to be speaking to the cheap seats at MSNBC.
I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one has asked me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. We're also worried about Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
President has
you know
called
what we
for
should
this.
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
the
please
crime rate
answer
in
my questions.
California right now
you are
is
aware,
through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87.
Yo, this is crazy, y'all. Like, what is going on? It's like my headset don't want to work now. I'm like, really? It's like I ain't about to work today. So we gonna do it like this. We ain't gonna let them stop us. The audio ain't gonna be the best, but we gonna rock out.
7% higher than the national average.
My question is this.
That's what I want to be focused on, Senator.
Do you have the power to say no to the president?
General.
Can y'all hear that? Let me turn it up a little bit louder. Let me turn it up.
Does Adam Schiff really think that Americans lie awake at night worrying, fretting about the fate of Liz Cheney? Talk about out of touch. This was a 6-hour exercise in liberal futility. It was like an extended campaign commercial for the GOP.
Under what circumstances will you prosecute journalists for what they write?
Is President-elect Trump eligible to run for another term as president in 2028?
Can you say no to the President of the United States when he asks you to do something unethical or illegal?
It's like the Muppet.
It is so weird to me. You said the audio, you can hear it. It is so weird to me that they're just sitting there still worried about Trump after all this time. Like, they try everything they could to destroy that man, and they're still like, who is electing these people? I cannot believe this, bro.
They still can't quit their Trump's a threat to democracy obsession. It's unbelievable. It blew up in their faces on election.
Hey, Andrew, you already know why. You already know what it is. You already know what it is, dog.
Today, but I guess they just got nothing else. Senator after senator sounded like they just ripped the pages out of Kamala's old debate prep.
He has also said illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our nation. He said that in December 2023. Do you agree with that statement?
Senator, I am not familiar with that statement, but what I can tell you is I went to the border a few months ago. I went to Yuma, Arizona, and what I saw at that border was horrific, Senator. It was horrific.
Ms. Bondi,
I went to a rape crisis center.
That is not my question.
I went to a rape crisis center. Well, I'm not familiar with the statement, but I went to a rape crisis center. I met with Border Patrol agents. I'm sure you've been to the border as well. So
I want to get to my next question.
I want to make sure my staff is written.
Hold on. Like, she kind of getting at this girl real quick. Hold up.
It blew up in their faces on election day, but I guess they just got nothing else. Senator after senator sounded like they just ripped the pages out of Kamala's old debate prep.
He has also said illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our nation. He said that in December 2023. Do you agree with that statement?
Senator, I am not familiar with that statement, but what I can tell you is I went to the border a few months ago. I went to Yuma, Arizona, and what I saw at that border was horrific, Senator. It was horrific.
Ms. Bondi,
I went to a rape crisis center.
That is not my question.
I went to a rape.
She don't want to hear that. She said, that is not my question. Yeah, you don't want to hear that. She is like putting the mirror up in front of everybody. Everybody that want to try to grill her, she putting the mirror up like, your state, this is what you got going on, right? I visited this. She talk crazy.
Crisis center. I'm not familiar with the statement, but I went to a rape crisis.
Hey, y'all already know what it was for the last live, so if y'all can't hit the like button. Y'all know we be telling the truth. Hit the like button. Let's get this video out there. Y'all gotta stop spitting the truth, like all up in the comments. Y'all telling the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Center. I met with Border Patrol agents. I'm sure you've been to the border as well. So
I want to get to my next question.
I want to make sure my staff has written my questions clearly because I can't think without the papers in front. But of course, once again,
Bondi cooking.
Exposed the Democrats' real priority, and it is not the safety of the American people. Now, perhaps the most hilarious of many hilarious parts of the spectacle was when Democrats had the nerve to try to skewer Bondi on the weaponization of the justice system.
It would not be appropriate for a prosecutor to start with a name and look for a crime. It's a prosecutor's job to start with a crime and look for a name, correct?
Senator, I think that is the whole problem with the weaponization that we have seen the last 4 years and what's been happening to Donald Trump. They targeted Donald Trump. They went after him. I will not target people simply because of their political affiliation. Justice will be administered even-handedly throughout this country.
I love it when the senators do this to convey that they're bored with the whole proceeding. Well, newsflash, we're bored with you, okay?
Yeah.
Finally, under the leadership of AG Bondi, I think the scales of justice will be at balance again. No more using the FBI as a retribution squad. No more.
They are terrified. Y'all gotta understand, like, the authority and power she's gonna have to indict, they are terrified because they were all corrupt. Not everybody, but most of them were corrupt. So they don't want they don't want Trump getting his get back, bro. So they're gonna try anything that they can. And it's funny because they can't really do anything. She throwing the mirror up like, like what she say to the one dude, like, hold on, like you got one of the worst crime rates out of any state in America. Like who are you talking to? And he's worried about Liz Cheney. Like, no, like they can't do nothing with her. Like this lady was like, what was it when she was the attorney general, whatever, of Florida? prosecuted the big oil and the Deepwater Horizon. And Florida got like $3 billion. Like, she know what she doing, bro.
More messing with the FISA courts. No more activist U.S. attorneys.
I will fight every day to restore confidence and integrity to the Department of Justice and each of its components. The partisanship, the weaponization will be gone. America will have one tier of justice for all.
As it always should have been and will be again.
We just got our hands on the inaugural portrait of the soon-to-be 47th president. Trump came out swinging.
You say the right things, that you're going to be the people's lawyer. That's what you have to say to be here.
I need to clarify
Joe Williams said, what's done in the dark is coming to light.
something that you said, that I have to sit up here and say these things. No, I don't. I sit up here and speak the truth. I'm not going to sit up here and say anything that I need to say to get confirmed by this body. I don't have to say anything. I will answer the questions to the best of my ability.
It was clear that Senate Democrats had no intention of giving Pam a fair hearing. After putting words in Pete's mouth yesterday, today the undistinguished senator from Hawaii was as annoying as usual.
I'll ask you this. If President-elect Trump asks, suggests, or hints that you as Attorney General should investigate one of his perceived political enemies, would you do so?
Senator,
And first of all, anyway, I know she's trying to catch her up, but let's be real. Like, if you're the Attorney General and the president tell you to do something, you're going to do it. It's just what it is. Like, why are you even asking her that, Hirono? Like, what are you doing?
Hirono, I wish you had met with me. Had you met with me, we could have discussed many things and gotten to know.
I'm
You could
listening
have
to
gotten
you now.
me.
Could you respond to the question?
Yeah, you were the only one who refused to me.
Dayoa said, honestly, like, I'm just speaking from the depths of self at this point. Though I have a difficult time trusting either party at this point, I see the constant waxing and waning for the public opinion. I mean, like, right now, like, the Democratic Party is like against your like freedom of speech. Like, so it's like clearly they're not the party right now. Like, one thing that people do, and I'm not talking about you, but like people in general, they always be like, well, you know, I don't like either party, so I'm not gonna vote. Like, you didn't say that, so I'm just saying people, like, I'm not gonna vote. And it's just like, what? Like, you y'all literally, and it'd be the people that just lost TikTok. Like, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna. And then the Democratic Party just took TikTok away from y'all. So it's like, what do they be thinking? Like, yeah, like, I mean, at one point I thought Obama was better than the other person. I voted for Obama. You see what I'm saying? And then when Trump came along, I thought Trump was better. So I voted for Trump. And Trump, we actually had like a decent run with Trump, other than with COVID. He couldn't control COVID. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go into the deficit with deficit spending with that. But other than that, like, I bought a house under Trump. I did well under Trump, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? And then I voted for Trump again. I didn't think Biden was good, but people decided like an elderly, you know what I mean, person was a better pick, right? So that they felt like Biden would be better than Trump, right? Whatever reason they went with it, they went with Biden. And now look, grocery prices is through the roof. People complaining that they can't afford housing, but y'all wanted them in there. Like, you don't just have to be super loyal to one party, right? If you feel like at a time, like, somebody's gonna be better than the other person, it just is what it is. Now, to look back on it, Obama wasn't that great. Like, the Obamacare, I didn't like. I like that he put the pre-existing condition thing in there, but a lot of other things about it I didn't like. You know, so it just depends. But, you know, like, the left and the right, they're never gonna give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not for you. Like, these people right here, they're not for you. They're for their constituents, or they're for the people that are putting money in their pocket to run for election. They're not for you. And, you know, and you think people are paying them millions of dollars to be for you? No, they're paying them millions of dollars to be for them. And now you got the Supreme Court. I forget what year it was. Supreme Court had ruled that businesses are people. Like, what? They ruled that. So it's, Like the America will never be what it was again, ever.
Meet with me, Senator.
Democrats don't want to meet with Bondi.
Exactly. George Perkins said, made y'all bed, now sleep in it. Somebody said, Trump is saving our souls, moving us to... Y'all crazy, bro. America first. And then when Trump... Hey, now everybody like... Even TikTok, bro. Hold on, let me show y'all this, bro. TikTok put out a message saying... hopefully Donald Trump can do something. Y'all was against Trump. I felt like TikTok, all of y'all was against him. Now it's like, hopefully the president, and now this dude want to go to the inauguration, the dude that runs TikTok. Like, get out of here, bro. Y'all is wild. Now Trump is the one that can save America, right? Like, come on, bro.
Because they don't want to get to know her. Then it's much easier.
Bro, America will never be the same. The only thing you can do is really laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? You can look at what's going on, poke fun at it, laugh at it, all of that, but America will never be the same. When they took JFK out of here, that's what it was. It will never be the same. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have, like, I think Trump is, like, he's willing to go the extra mile for the people. He's already shown it. You know, so he's already rich, and the dude done fought against the American government, dog. You know, when the DOJ was weaponized against him. So the greatest chance of anybody like helping with anything is probably him. Kamala Harris is more of the same. She's a puppet. I'm not putting my eggs in a basket with a puppet. I'm going to try to see what Trump can do. How, bruh, if it's this bad and it wasn't this bad when Trump is in here, why am I going to vote for another Democrat? At least right now. No.
Easier for them to batter and dehumanize her as a political punching bag. But Bondi stood up for herself every single time. Democrats thought they could make her look like a dumb blonde, but Bondi ended up making them look like fools. Listen.
Your job will be, I'm speaking, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie
What is he even talking about?
about the 2020 election. Then move on to a different topic.
Senator, you were speaking. May I speak? You cut me off when I was speaking.
You can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi.
Well, I'd like to answer the previous one, Senator.
When we met yesterday,
you pointed your finger at me and said you were speaking. Let me answer my question. I'm not going to be bullied by you, Senator
the 14th Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you didn't want to hear my answer about Pennsylvania.
After I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me in this committee what the Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you.
Every question she was asked was to appease the loony left wing of their party. January 6th, enemies list, is Trump a dictator? These aren't serious people.
A simple question of constitutional interpretation. Is President-elect Trump eligible to run for another term as president in 2028?
Of course not, unless they change the rules of the government. No.
No, Senator, not unless they change the Constitution.
Bondi was a former prosecutor, the attorney general for the state of Florida, and Trump's personal attorney during impeachment. If she's confirmed, her main priority is fighting crime. Cartel crime, white collar, fraud, guns, drugs, sex trafficking, terrorism. All Adam Schiff wanted to know.
TCS Watch said Trump chose Bondi because she is a blonde who would do what he said.
Was, are you going to leave Liz Cheney alone?
Are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical.
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president has
We're also worried about Liz Cheney,
The
Senator.
president has
You know what
called
we
for
should
this.
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my
California
questions.
right now
You are
is
aware,
through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies are 87% higher than the national average.
My question is this.
Yo, she smoking this dude, bro.
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I
No,
won't
I'm just
do it.
asking a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any
to
ongoing
power. So let me ask you
investigation,
another.
like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
if
And I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day-
mislead this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask
You were
another question.
censured by
It will
Congress,
also-
Senator, for
it will
comments just
also-
like this that
it
are
will
so
also-
Well, this is exactly what Biden did. As the crime rate exploded, Joe told Garland to prosecute Trump. The Democrats were completely oblivious to how they looked, especially after what they perpetrated over the last 4 years. Listen to this.
And it would not be appropriate for a prosecutor to start with a name and look for a crime. It's a prosecutor's job to start with a crime and look for a name, correct?
Senator, I think that is the whole problem with the weaponization that we have seen the last 4 years and what's been happening to Donald Trump. They targeted Donald Trump. They went after him, actually starting back in 2016. They targeted his campaign. They have launched countless investigations against him. That will not be the case if I am Attorney General. I will not politicize that office.
Pam's not a partisan actor who's there to settle scores.
Yeah, Big Ben said we need 1,000 likes. Shout out to y'all. I see somebody hitting the hundreds and the likes. Shout out to Emma Ma Megzi. She helped us get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. Shout out to her. Shout out to Froggy Megzi, another moderator in here. Shout out to y'all.
If there's probable cause that a crime's been committed by Nancy or Alvin or our good friend Fanny, I'm sure she'll look into it, but she's not there to collect scalps. She's there to clean house and return the department to what it should be, a crime-fighting department focused on protecting the American people, not one political party. Pam Bondi's young, polished, tenacious, and the Trump team was very pleased with how the hearing went. The three other nominees, the big ones who had their hearings today, John Ratcliffe for CIA, Marco Rubio for State, and Sean Duffy for Transportation, all breezed through the hearings. Democrats didn't even put up a fight. And so far, all the nominees have presented strong, smart, and principled cases for their nominations. The Republican Party is unified around them. It's refreshing, isn't it? But Democrats keep getting caught flat-footed. Nothing seems to be working. Schumer promised fireworks, but all of his foot soldiers are getting outfoxed.
What do y'all think about the, this is not like just to harp on this, but like the Democratic Party? I feel like they are completely out of touch. Like, I don't think they're even in the same realm as American people right now. Shout out to you, Double. I appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. Like, they are not even close to even being, like, why are they like this? Like, this is crazy. This is literal insanity to me.
Schumer said Republicans were going to suffer brand damage after these hearings. But we've just seen Senate Democrats embarrass themselves, one after the other. The Democrat machine is broken. It's leaderless. The donors are disgusted. The media is collapsing. The big tech billionaires are switching sides. And Hollywood's on fire. They're fighting for their lives. We're starting to see that without a well-funded and well-oiled propaganda machine and cancel culture enforcers, the party doesn't have the power, the discipline, or the narratives they need to survive. Trump's election has shattered that machine into a million pieces. And we have no idea how long it's going to take.
Yo, why did Nelly, like the rapper Nelly, just like start clapping at the, I want to play this, but what's this dude's name? He used to be with the, let me show y'all this real quick.
Look at Donald Trump.
The Ghetto Boys. He's like a content creator, but he made a video about me. He don't like me, so I kind of don't want to play his video.
Look at Donald Trump, the man.
He don't like me, but Nelly, I think he interviewed Nelly. Yeah, this dude. He made a video about me like dissing me. What's his name again? But Nelly was going in on black Democrats. So y'all go check out his video anyway. But shout out to a Black Conservative Perspective. You know, he been grinding, putting in work. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Nelly? And then Shadow said, just subscribe, love the content, can't stand both parties, but it's obvious which party is for the people and not for censorship. Exactly. We cannot be allowing like censorship. Once the Democratic Party, when we heard, we were reacting to all of this, and if you new to the channel, let me give you like, we went all in for Trump, right? It's just what it was, because when we seen Hillary Clinton talking about, Twitter needed to be censored, and this app needs to be censored, that app, and then Kamala Harris talking about Twitter needs to be censored, and all of these apps need government oversight, and we reacted to John Kerry talking about that. I'm like, Trump, we gotta get Trump in here. Then you see Joe Biden and them like trying to get rid of TikTok. I'm like, y'all, like, we can't do. Yeah, Willie D don't like me. He made a video about me. That's why I'm not playing that video. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think he didn't play my video. He just talked crazy about me. So it's like, I don't want to play his video because he do be threatening his audience that he'll hit him with a copyright strike. So that's why I don't want to be, using this stuff. He old school. He might try to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yo, I be looking, it be like some popular people like mad at me. I don't know why.
For them to put it back together.
Let's see what Hannity got to say. Shout out to, y'all know when I was a Democrat, bro, I used to couldn't stand Sean Hannity. I'm like, how is he got a show? I was wilding on Sean Hannity. Now I'm like, yo, he was telling me the truth the whole time. When did y'all, if you're a Republican in here, Thug Life, when did y'all find out that they was actually telling the truth and CNN was lying? Like, when did y'all find, bro, when I found that out, I'm like, oh, Lord.
Things are already underway. Here at home, Donald Trump's cabinet nominees, they are demonstrating a very high level of competence and integrity at their Senate confirmation hearings. Also coming up tonight, we will show you how Donald Trump's pick for AG, Pam Bondi, literally flipped the script on the congenital liar Adam Schiff. It was a moment. If you missed it, you missed a lot. Also tonight, a major accomplishment for the president-elect overseas. This is really big news and good news. We're going to bring you the details of the Middle East peace.
Bud Jones said during Obama, you found out that Sean Hannity was actually telling the truth. David Elwell said, I found out when I quit being one-sided. Yeah, bro, like that. I was shocked when I found out Republicans was like telling the truth. And then I even went back. What is the dude's name? He used to be a radio host, Rush Limbaugh. Because I used to be like, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. It's like Democrat around there. Like Ohio State is like Republican, but like Cleveland, Ohio is like Democrat. So I used to hear like Rush Limbaugh. I'm like, I can't stand him. But then, like, I went back and what was it, like a few months ago, I even talked about him. I went back and listened to Rush Limbaugh. I'm like, yo, dude was telling us the truth. Yo, like, bruh, I've been bamboozled by the hood, bruh. The hood didn't trick me. Jamie Leah with 87 is a member on the channel, said, I watched it on Fox. She's a boss. And what about that Biden legacy? Biden, then his whole legacy is, nobody gonna rock with him no more, Jamie. Nobody.
Deal that was reached with Donald Trump getting it across the finish line.
Froggy Meggsy said, dirty dance.
Why? By strength. By fear that he instilled in foreign adversaries, and they know he means what he says. But first, I don't know any other way to put it, just a pathetic farewell address from a frankly pathetic career politician filled with...
Speaking of that, Jamie Leah, 87, look, he talking about it now. Biden's legacy. What is his legacy?
Illusion of success and petty political attacks. What you just heard tonight, and the typical mumbling, bumbling, and stumbling as usual, every cliche imaginable, false hope for the next president to do so well after really doing nothing but sabotage Donald Trump before he gets into office, a corrupt family, a weaponized DOJ that has caused massive harm to our...
Joe, they put Hunter Biden right up in there. Hey, leave Sean Hannity alone, bro. Sean Hannity, he'll clip you real quick. Sean Hannity don't play them games. Shout out to Sean Hannity, bro.
Justice system. In the end, a sad, pathetic, angry man that you decide, what did he accomplish? Ask yourself. He failed to mention that we are now on, by the way, preemptive pardon watch, as the president now reportedly considering get out of jail free cards for his brother, for Anthony Fauci, for Liz Cheney.
Oh no, Fauci! He is not about to give him a get out of, oh my God, no! Sean Hannity, don't be lying, bro. Hold up. We about to look this up, bro. No. Is he going to pardon Fauci? Oh my God. No, bro. No. This cannot be going down, bro. Hold up. Let me show y'all this. This cannot be going down, bro. America, chill out, bro. Biden is expected to issue more pardons before leaving office on Monday. The timing, hold on, let me stop this. The timing of the clemency action, should Biden decide to grant them, is likely to be during his final hours in office and could include preemptive pardons, sources told NBC. This is NBC saying this. President Joe, hold on, let me stop this, bro. Like, y'all got to stop all these ads. President Joe Biden is expected to make further use of his clemency power before leaving office next week, potentially extending preemptive pardons to individuals who could be targeted for retribution by President-elect Donald Trump incoming administration according to a senior White House official and a person familiar with the decisions. Biden has not yet made a decision on any pardons for people in that group, the White House official said Friday. Yeah, but he said he wasn't going to pardon Hunter, and he did. The timing for the clemency action, should Biden decide to grant them, is likely to be during his final hours in office. He's going to wait to the last minute to pardon Fauci, bro. On Sunday, before noon on Monday, the two sources said, though timing is subject to change, on the campaign trail, Trump vowed to prosecute his political opponents during his second term. Let's go, Trump! NBC News previously reported that Biden was considering preemptive pardons for potential targets of that retribution, including Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, a manager during Trump's first impeachment, Dr. Anthony Fauci, a former top infectious disease. No! What more can he do to us? What more can he do to us? He's about to pardon this dude. No, I'm tweeting this, bro. I am tweeting this, bro. I'm like, no, bro, no. We was gonna get him. Trump was gonna get him, bro. Hold on. I'm about to tweet this. Oh my fucking God. I can't show y'all when I'm tweeting, but if you go on my Twitter, it's not nice. I'm gonna say that. It's not nice. I'm gonna say that. Jamie, this is crazy. Emma, this is insane. And then Wayne said, don't ask the question. He has time to make it worse. Biden was considering preemptive pardons for petition. This is crazy. Yeah, he's going to announce it at the very last minute.
For Benny Tom.
Yo, and you know, RFK was going in on Dr. Fauci, right? RFK revealed that Fauci's family is getting $100,000 a month from like I think it was like a month from like the far. Let me find this, bro. We're going to let this play. Let me
Thompson
find this.
and a whole list of others, maybe even himself. He also failed to mention his greatest legacy, and that is the millions upon millions and millions of unvetted illegal immigrants that poured into this country, including violent criminals, murderers, rapists, gang members, cartel members, and known terrorists. We don't know where they are. We know that they are here. This is what Joe is leaving behind for Donald J. Trump. And by the way, mark my words, the greatest legacy of Joe Biden will be these unvetted illegal immigrants, the crimes they commit, and the possible terror attacks on our homeland.
Oh my God, I cannot believe he's going to end up pardoning Fauci, bro. I cannot believe this, bro.
Instead, in tonight's, quote, farewell address, we got more
help talk Americans into getting that jab, bro.
Class warfare against a handful of billionaires, oligarchs, as he's calling them.
Yeah, so they had to get, this is why they had to get rid of TikTok, bro. Because if he would have did these pardons and TikTok would have been, bro, they would have been all over this. Like, bro, you just pardoned Fauci? And y'all gonna vote for them again? Like, y'all, like, oh my God, bro. Y'all gonna forget this in 4 years. Y'all are gonna forget this in 4 years. That is the scary part, bro. Like, Americans' attention span is so low.
Who don't support him. His family had no problem taking a lot of money from a Russian oligarch, the former First Lady of Moscow, or dealing with wealthy companies in Ukraine and China. Didn't mention that part either. And of course, then he gave a dire warning about the left's favorite boogeyman, climate change, the biggest existential threat to our country, and a call for more censorship online after it was Joe Biden himself.
See what I'm saying? We thought Sean Hannity was right. Just told you what it is. Like, yo, and the calls for more censorship online. He's telling you what it is. The hood has tricked me all of these years. The hood has tricked me. The ghetto, they tricked me. The Democrats has been tricking me all this time.
Who coerced big tech into censoring the facts about COVID-19, along with the truth about the very real laptop of his son, Hunter. And that real story, that was Winkin' Tony Blinken that tried to cover it up, organizing a letter with 51 former intelligence officials, supposedly debunking the story as Russian disinformation to give him a talking point before a debate. And meanwhile, not one of those people ever one time saw that laptop or knew a thing about the laptop. This was a typical Biden speech. It was disorganized. It was mumbling. It was uninspiring, riddled with visions of grandeur about himself, along with doom and gloom about political rivals. You decide.
My farewell address tonight, I want to warn the...
Bro, Americans really be allowing this, bro. Yo, we really be allowing them to just put the fingers up in our face and farewell speeches and everything, and we just allow this, bro. It's only a few people, and we be allowing this, bro. That's crazy.
Country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy. Right now, the existential threat of...
Shout out to Double A Fishing. He said, gifted 5 Harper Boy Williams membership. Shout out to you, Thug Life. You get a special Thug Life. Thug Life. What is going down? Thug Life. They trying to trick us.
Climate change has never been clearer. Just look across the country, from California to North Carolina.
I cannot believe
That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest, for power and profit. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation.
From y'all! Y'all are the ones doing it! The ghetto has tricked me! Y'all have tricked me! Ghetto, y'all have tricked me! All y'all rappers, all of y'all have tricked me!
Enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office.
You! It needs to be amended so people like you can be prosecuted.
It was his administration, his DOJ.
Come on Monday morning. Monday, come on Monday. Come be Monday. Come Monday. Trump is going to save us. I don't care what nobody says. He is going to save everybody.
Was pressuring big tech to tell a lot of those lies. You can't make that part up. Now, ultimately, Biden's 5 decades in the Washington swamp were never about service or making this a better place, always about himself and his own personal gain. The results, they speak for himself. So tonight, look, forget about what I think. Ask yourself. Every American needs to ask themselves tonight, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Can you identify one policy that he implemented that improved your life? Economically, everything you buy in every store you go to costs more. Interest rates are higher. You're paying about $1.50 more a gallon for gasoline. Are you better off? Are you more safe and more secure?
Sean Hannity is talking facts. Listen to him. He talking facts. Ask yourself a question. Forget what all this, the entertainment and all this stuff is trying to convince you to vote. Ask yourself a question. Are you better off than you were like during the Trump administration? Chances are it's no. Y'all happy with this?
Both here at home and abroad. After nearly 50 years of working for government, Biden, he owns multi-million-dollar mansions. He goes on lavish vacations. He's worth reportedly millions of dollars, but most of his career, he made $200,000 or less. And people will always call him Mr. President. That's fine. At the same time, Americans, most Americans I know, and the polls show this and confirm this, are far worse off, especially the middle class that he claims to have a monopoly of compassion on. Joe Biden didn't seem to care less.
And he only cared, bro, North Carolina, they acting like North Carolina not going through it, bro. They acting like North Carolina not going through it. But Biden was quick to try to save the rich people in Cali. Like in the Palisades. But he want to talk about Trump is only for the... Y'all, wake up! Tim Hart said, yeah, created by you, Mr. Biden. Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah, politics have become insane. Yes.
For him, it's his mission.
Let me show y'all this, bro. Robert Kennedy exposed Dr. Fauci, bro, and he probably about to get a pardon. This is crazy.
January 9th, 2020.
Oh, he playing music. Come on, Robert Kennedy. What's up with all this music?
24, Dr.
Oh, this dude added music to it.
Anthony Fauci now admitting social distancing wasn't based on science.
Get the music out.
You are protected.
But go to my Twitter. It's on Twitter. I can't because of the music, bro. They'll pull this video down. Go to my Twitter. It's the first thing on Twitter. Go to my Twitter. I retweeted it. This is Robert Kennedy exposing Dr. Fauci, bro. Everything about him.
Accomplished moment. Meanwhile, the incoming administration is they're hitting the ground running. This is an amazing phenomenon we are witnessing before our eyes. Real successes for you, the American people. This is real safety and security abroad. Breaking today, a ceasefire deal in Gaza. That means freedom.
Hold on.
She admit.
Yeah, that one's got. I can't play it on. Let me see if I can play this one though. But it's on my Twitter. Go to my Twitter, you'll see it. Let's see.
I was saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested in pre-licensing.
Man, he's talking about like vaccines in general, like, you know what I'm saying, for this one. But this one, he's like going in and exposing Fauci. But I didn't know that. It says this is your new Secretary of Health and Human Services. Anthony Fauci called RFK Jr. a liar, saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. sued Fauci, and after a year of avoiding, Fauci's lawyers admitted he was right.
Placebo-controlled trials, not one. Tony Fauci was saying he's lying. In 2016, President Trump appointed me to run a vaccine safety commission. And he ordered Fauci and Collins to meet with me with White House counsel present. And I said to Fauci at that meeting, you say I'm lying. For 8 years, you've been saying I'm lying about this. Show me the study. And he said, I don't have it here. It's back in Bethesda. And I'll send it to you. I never got it. So I sued him. Me and Aaron Siri, and after stonewalling us for a year, their lawyers met us on the courthouse steps and said, yep, you're right. We never had any study. And they gave it to us in writing. You can go to the CHC website, my website, and you can see that letter from HHS. There's no downstream liability. There's no front-end safety testing. That saves them $250 million. And there's no marketing and advertising costs, because the federal government is ordering them to ordering 78 million school kids to take that vaccine every year. What better product could you have?
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So by the government, like forcing and mandating like people to have their vaccines before they go to school, like you don't need advertisement dollars and to be doing commercials about these vaccines that are not even tested. I'm not saying it's this RFK Jr. saying this, Thug Life. He's saying it, right? What better way to have it done is for the American government to be pushing this? Yo, this is crazy, bro. Yo, and then Biden's about to pardon this too. Yo, what?
And they gave it to us in writing. You can go to the CHC website, my website, and you can see that letter from HHS. There's no downstream liability. There's no front-end safety testing. That saves them $250 million. And there's no marketing and advertising costs, because the federal government is ordering them to ordering 78 million school kids to take that vaccine every year. What better product could you have? And so there was a gold rush to add all these new vaccines to the schedule that we don't need. Most of these vaccines are unnecessary. Many of them are for diseases that are not even casually contagious. It was a gold rush, because if you get onto that schedule, the recommended schedule, it's $1 billion a year for your company.
Even like schools now, like, colleges and stuff force you to get like some stuff. But I think it's like more like Hep B and stuff like that. Yo, I cannot wait for Trump to get it. I cannot wait, bro. Like, get Trump in here now. Thug life. Hood, you can't trick me no more, hood. Thug life.
And in many cases, NIH is bearing the royalties. So we got all of these new vaccines, 72 shots, 16 vaccines, and now even more because we're doing the HPV vaccine. And that...
Best Bully Scotland said Congress passed a law in 1966 that there can be no downstream liability. Oh, wow.
Year 1989, we saw an explosion in chronic disease in American children. The neurological disease.
Wait, hold on. So y'all don't want Robert Kennedy to be ahead of the FDA? His influence right now, they are terrified. The FDA just banned, what was it, Red 3 or Red, hold on, let me see. I can't remember, hold on. Red Dye 3. They just banned Red Dye 3 because, like, they know he's coming in there and he's going to clean house. Y'all don't want him in there? They just banned it. FDA announces ban on red dye number 3. Here's what to expect and why some families already avoid the food coloring. It ain't just Yahoo News saying this. It's everybody saying this. Hold on, that's the cigarette ban. FDI bans red dye number 3 in food and ingested drugs due to cancer risks. The decision came after years of scrutiny and debate over the safety of red number 3. Particularly concerning its potential impact on children and its alleged link to cancer. And they've been allowing this dye for like 34 years after they already knew that this was like a cancer causing like agent. They already knew and they just let it go. But now they want to do something because Robert Kennedy about to get in office.
For 33 hostages, hopefully more, a plan for a lasting peace. Just 1 week after Donald J.
Hit
Trump.
the like button, bro. Like, that's y'all got this video to like 40-something thousand views now. Hit the like button. That's how y'all do it. You know, and then like the 100s, like the hearts, all of that. Hit that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all.
Trump delivered this morning. Take a look.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time...
Jamie said, amen. Adderley said, I do not want RFK for the FDA. Same reason I do not want some Osama as head of national security. And then Michael said, it's crazy what people would do for money. Clifford said, need to add Trump to Mount Rushmore. Duke said, yeah, eagle, crow, same bird. Miguel said, their health is my responsibility. Dad said, left wing, right wing, doesn't matter. Same bird. I mean, it mattered when Trump was president, bro. I felt like America was flourishing. Nobody was complaining. Everybody was getting what they wanted. I mean, like, what do y'all want? Like, this is the problem. Like, Trump made America so comfortable. Like, people did, like, not everybody, but a lot of people did so well. They said, the America is going good. Let's just give it Democrats a try. That's what people did, bro. And then Democrats just showed you how bad it can get. And they messed everything up again. It's crazy. Somebody said, Michael said, Trump 2028, my guy. Local thing said, Clifford, Trump is definitely being added to Mount Rushmore. Salty said, left wing, right wing, same bird. I read that. Shadow said, the government is not there to save us. We can save ourselves. Rachel said, no one got what we wanted. You might not have, but I have, and a lot of other people have. Local thing said, Emperor Trump 2028. Y'all crazy.
Time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Can you elaborate?
Respectfully said, y'all ain't lying. Duke said, you're right.
It will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given him back a long time. They should have never taken him.
This is how a president needs to talk. All right, y'all got some hostages. When I get, y'all better figure out the negotiations, because when I get in office, we gonna have a problem. That's why, like, Hamas wanted to do some talking when they found out Trump got elected. They know this dude ain't playing. Like, he already done got rid of ISIS. Remember when Obama was president? ISIS this, ISIS that, ISIS. Remember y'all kept hearing that? Y'all don't. When is the last time y'all heard somebody talk about ISIS? I'll wait. When Trump got in, he got rid of them. They know what this dude can do. And he willing to do it. So they gonna play ball. This is my president, dog.
If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Can you elaborate? And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
That's how you talk. That's how you talk. Forget all these, like, nah. Y'all better, like, figure out a way to fix this, because when I get in there, it's going down. I'm standing on business. That's how a president talk.
And they should have given him back a long time. They should have never taken him. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that.
Don't tell me to chill. Don't tell me to chill. I can't wait for tomorrow.
Today would not have happened were it not for that moment. Donald Trump, he didn't just warn the terrorists of Hamas and their friends in the Middle East. He took action. The president-elect, he sent a delegation, you saw Steve Witkoff in that video, to the region to negotiate a deal. A deal has been struck. According to Arab leaders, Donald Trump made more progress in one meeting than Joe Biden did all year. Top Qatari officials.
He made more progress in one meeting than Joe Biden did all year. What y'all think about that?
Now said Trump and his envoy pushed this deal over the finish line, and they thanked Trump for his leadership. Take a look.
You, as you say, have been working on this deal for many months. And the question is, why now? Why this moment? And was it pressure from the incoming
Qatar Prime Minister thanks Biden and Trump teams and ceasefire deal announcement. Y'all didn't want Trump to win? Like what? Y'all want this stuff to be going on longer? Y'all see the effects of this man before he even steps into office?
Trump administration that got it over the line. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for this question. Actually, we've been raising the question of the right moment for the entire period since the collapse of the first phase. But we have seen a momentum that started to build in the last month, and we kept pushing for that, working together very closely with our partners. And I can say that what we have seen from the US in the past few days, seeing a collaboration transcending both administration, was a clear demonstration for the commitment of the US to reach to that deal. And I really would like to thank both the envoys who are here with us.
Instead of being happy, back at the White House, Joe Biden was seething. One day, of course, after forgetting how to sign his name on a bill during a bill signing ceremony, the frankly petty, incompetent current president tried to take full credit for the plea deal. He announced...
Bro, this is like an incompetent panel. These are like some of the most incompetent people, bro. And she's standing there like this photo op is crazy, bro. This is insane. And Trump can just get something done just like that. What did he tell Kim Jong-un? He was like, you need to just go take a vacation. You got nice beaches, like where where your country is, like nice water, like go take a vacation, right? And he was like, let me tell you something. We know that you got whatever you got over there, but we got a red button. And ours actually works. Hey, Trump said that to him. Kim Jong-un chilled out. He chilled. My president said, play if you want. That's what it is, bro.
It's about 2 hours after Donald Trump. Take a look.
Thank you.
Books credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh, thank you.
No, that would be Donald Trump made this happen, not him.
Yeah.
That's the joke. Anyway, Joe Biden, maybe he should circle back to his own State Department. They thanked Donald Trump earlier today in case he missed it.
Hey, shout out to Sean Hannity, all your work you've been doing. Let's go to Lefties Losing It, and then we're going to swing it back around Pam Bondi.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and I think it's high time we checked in on the leader of the free world. Yes, him, POTUS, the man the media told you was cognitively sound and a decent and honest and competent commander-in-chief. You can now add dangerously delusional to President Joe Biden's long list of ailments.
I would have beaten Trump, and I think that Kamala could have beaten Trump, and would have beaten Trump.
say, what now? You could have beaten Trump? No amount of fortifying elections could have seen you beat Trump. And as we saw, Kamala didn't come close either. So why is the president...
Hit the like button. Like, y'all hit the like button. This is... He said, I think I could have beaten Trump. You know what I'm saying? And I think Kamala could have beaten Trump. Like, what?
Saying that now. That's beyond me. Also beyond me is why he'd be uttering a sentence like this. Listen here as he speaks about the California wildfire victims losing their homes before switching to his own happy personal news.
We got a notification yesterday that their home was probably burned down. Today, the parents are maybe still standing, I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today.
He said, good news is I'm a great grandfather. Bro, Biden. And this is a time where like the wildfires were going off and he's like... Gavin Newsom chose a side to be. You sit there with this dude talking about he's a great grandfather. Jamie, what is going on with like these? Like, what is this, bro? I'm trying to be objective. It's very hard to be like in this particular situation. This is crazy.
Their homes are gone, but yay for me, I'm a great-grandfather. Everyone clap. And if you thought that was bad, listen here as the cognitive decline and compulsive lying combine to see the president claim with a straight face that illegal border crossings came down when he became president. This is next level lefty losing at lunacy.
Look, let's get something in mind about the border. When I became president, the numbers came way.
I don't know if I can take more of this dude, bro.
Secret service agents on the border. He's cooked, folks. The truth is that the numbers exploded to record highs during his presidency. The record numbers crossed illegally after Trump had overseen a sharp reduction in illegal entries. And let's not forget this statement from Biden after Jimmy Carter's death, where he used the occasion to, you guessed it, attack Donald Trump.
Thank you, President Trump to take from President Carter.
Decency. 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 Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody. Can you imagine Jimmy Carter walking by someone who needs something and just keep walking?
This from a man who doesn't even acknowledge his own granddaughter, Hunter's love child down in Arkansas, who the Bidens to this day refuse to acknowledge, whose mother had to take legal action just to get some financial support for her. This is a man who wants to lecture us about decency. Okay, but whatever you may say about old Joe, at least he's not Kamala. Here is the Veep and wannabe president giving these words of advice to the victims of Californian wildfires.
And so it's critically important that to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do.
There you go. Basically amounts to sit down and calm down as authorities fail you again.
Rita don't play, man. She tell him exactly what it is, y'all. Like.
Now, this time with the inauguration days away, one must not forget the lengths the leftist media went to cover up President Biden's and Vice President Harris's many deficiencies, though some of them are trying to rewrite history.
One of the things we also do in the year-end correspondence roundtable is dig into what was undercovered or underreported. Jan?
Undercovered, underreported. That would be, to me, Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline that became undeniable in the televised debate.
At the presidential debate with Donald Trump.
Unquestioned. And, you know, it's starting to emerge now that his advisors kind of managed his limitations. It's been reported in the Wall Street Journal for 4 years, and yet he insisted that he could still run for president. We should have much more forcefully questioned whether he was.
Even Nancy Pelosi came out and said that he should have been stepped down. And this is the judgment of the current party that's in power right now. Like, sometimes just depends on what's going on. Like, I'm not like aligned completely with any party or nothing like that. I just say what it is, right? I'm Republican thug life. It is what it is. But like, this party has allowed Biden to just continue to be president, even though we clearly can see that this dude has cognitive decline. This is the judgment like front of the country right now. Like, thug, like, what is going on, bro?
Fit for office for another 4 years, which could have led to a primary for the Democrats. It could have changed the scope of the entire election.
It's starting to emerge now. Please. It was obvious to anyone with eyes and ears that the president could barely function. We reported it here, and we were attacked for it over and over again. Let me quote Congressman Byron Donalds, who had this to say for those in the media who have now decided to discuss Biden's mental condition. They decided to discuss it when it no longer mattered. They blamed it on a stutter. They blamed it on Russian disinfo. They blamed it on cheap fakes. They hit him at every opportunity. They scripted every public event. They denied the Her report findings. They sent him on vacation for 570 days. They brazenly lied to you for years. This could be the biggest presidential cover-up in American history, and the media defended it all until they got exposed at the debate. Don't let the media gaslight you. This story existed for years, and they avoided it on purpose. Here, I couldn't have said it better.
Shout out to Byron.
Myself, every single word there is true. And one of the very worst in the media, Don Lemon, had this recent meltdown about MAGA. He seems to have forgotten that Donald Trump actually won the election in a landslide. I don't know, he thinks it's all fallen apart for MAGA.
You dumb idiots. Now you're just figuring this out. You're so stupid and you deserve it.
What?
You deserve it because you're so dumb. Jim, it's hypocrisy. So go with me here. Yes, I am gloating over your stupidity and how you were taken. I'm cackling in Kamala. You know what they're saying about the anti-immigrant stuff, right? Who's in to say that one of the jobs you might be seeking won't be one of those white jobs? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Don Lemon is crashing out, bro. And he's got one of the... Yo, he got all this money he didn't think to get some Rogaine. Like, what is he doing, bro?
Oh my gosh.
It can only be a matter of time before the men in white coats come and take Don away to a nice padded room. Good Lord. And here is Jim Acosta with a human potato, where they both, surprise, surprise, believe the Biden White House should be censoring free speech.
Meta has a lot of business before the U.S. government, and I think that's ultimately what this is all about.
Hey, Froggy Megsy, try to restart it and then tell me.
Yeah, and he's complaining about the Biden administration, yell.
And then Yickman said, we need a Supreme Court that will enforce the Constitution as written, not according to interpretation. Christian Medwed is a liberal. He said, he's talking to somebody else. And then Jamie said, yikes. John Lambert said, I never voted for Starmer, so it's out of my hands. Madigal said he is tripping. Local Thing said Don Lemon is both fruity and sour. Yo, no, you didn't, bro. Like, what? Y'all crazy. Biker Bay said liberal Lemon losing left his mind. Yo, he said he both fruity and sour. Like, y'all crazy. Flower said if only money could buy sanity. I know, right?
Yelling at them to say, get some of this COVID misinformation off their platforms. I mean, isn't that's sort of what the White House should be doing, right?
Oh dear. Sticking with the media, here is 60 Minutes' Leslie Stawn claiming the economy Trump is inheriting is great, and trying again and again to get the CEO of JP Morgan Chase to criticize Donald
I
Trump's
see y'all hitting a like. Shout out to y'all.
policies.
What's up, Deli?
He's inheriting a pretty good economy, despite what people feel, all these metrics that you see. But what about advice to him on some of the policies that he's threatening to do that could hurt the economy? For instance, tariffs. Have you talked to him about tariffs? If you could talk to him right now, what would you say?
I have not spoken about tariffs. I think you should read The Art of the Deal.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and we have so much content. The lefties have been extra crazy over the Christmas break, so get ready for a barrage of woke lunacy. Let's start in Canada, where the neo-Marxist himbo himself, Justin Trudeau, has finally realised how loath he is and is stepping down. I wonder if over the last few months there were any clues to his unpopularity. Take it away, rock legend Mick Jagger.
I mean, we love your Mr. Trudeau. I mean, his family's always been such big fans of our band.
Trudeau's family has been such big fans of our band.
By the way, congratulations on the Canadian soccer team getting to the semi-final.
Very skillful of Mick there to just quickly change the topic to soccer. Yes, the Rolling Stones, I don't think, are too used to hearing booing at their concerts. Justin Trudeau was a media darling.
Trump said we need to take over Canada. Trump is funny, bro.
The picture-perfect progressive male feminist, but the people in Canada have finally seen through him. He has caused untold damage to the country, and Canadians are no longer shy about confronting him, whether it's in the streets or in a diner.
Mr. Prime Minister, please get the out of BC.
Have a wonderful day now.
Yeah, you suck.
Like what?
For those who we once thought were sane and mildly intelligent, who have allowed TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, to completely destroy their standing among thinking people. And no man better demonstrates that than Sam Harris, a member of the intellectual...
I cannot believe Sam Harris is a weirdo anyway.
Treatment by government regarding their records. Indeed, is my oversight exposed. The FBI amazingly agreed to destroy laptop records and records associated with Clinton staff. This Orwellian conduct should have no quarter. On top of it all, the FBI Special Agent Thibault, the anti-Trump agent that violated the Hatch Act for political activities on the job, started one of Jack Smith's cases. But Jack Smith wasn't the only department official who tried to influence this past election. The Washington Post reported just last August about a previously undisclosed Mueller investigation into Trump that was closed for lack of evidence, and it being quote-unquote fishing expedition. That news reporting was based on sealed court records, government records, and potentially classified information roughly 90 days before the last presidential election. The Justice Department leaked that information to the press to impact the election against President Trump, and they did it.
That's crazy that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. That's crazy. Like, media is just owned by, like rich elite people. That's crazy.
While stiff-arming.
Shout out to Bezos, though. They've been doing a good job by delivering packages. Amazon employee. I know he don't run it no more, but they've been doing good. I did all my Christmas shopping on Amazon.
Congressional requests for information that would prove embarrassing to the Biden-Harris administration. So let us not forget some of the more and other flagrant abuses of power that we've seen from the DOJ and the FBI over the last 4 years. And I don't have the time to spend on these that I spent on 2 or 3 others, but just to list them. The Department of Justice used the might of the federal government to prosecute individuals peacefully praying outside of an abortion clinic. The FBI suggested that traditional Catholics could be domestic terrorism threats, claiming that these individuals adhere to, quote, anti-Semitic, anti-immigration, anti-LGBT, and white supremacy ideology, end of quote. The FBI opened dozens of investigations into parents who voiced their concerns at school board meetings regarding curriculum choices and COVID-19 mandates. The FBI applied undue pressure to social media platforms to censor so-called misinformation, downgrading or removing flagged social media posts and removing users. These are only a few particularly egregious.
And they just did it. The Democratic Party, they just took TikTok down. My subscribers just went crazy right now because I think a lot of people that's on TikTok are now on YouTube. So it's like, everybody wake up. Like they were after freedom of speech, man.
Egregious examples of rot infesting the Department of Justice. The impact of this political infection in our once storied law enforcement institutions is catastrophic. By every metric, the Biden-Harris Justice Department conduct has failed to live up to our country's ideals. So, Ms. Bondi, should you be confirmed, the actions you take to change the department's course must be for accountability, so that the conduct I just described never happens again. The only way to accomplish this is through transparency for the Congress and the American people. Now to my friend, Ranking Member Durbin.
Thank you, Senator Grassley. I appreciate your commitment to the Judiciary Committee's longstanding bipartisan practices for vetting presidential nominees. That was in doubt several weeks ago, but I spoke to Senator Grassley and he assured me that he's still personally committed as I am to maintaining these practices which we've established over the years. Our process is rigorous, and it shows how seriously members on both sides of the aisle take our constitutional responsibility of advice and consent. Ms. Bondi, thanks for coming to my office last week to discuss your nomination. The importance of the Attorney General to our justice system cannot be overstated. As our nation's chief law enforcement officer, the Attorney General oversees the Department of Justice, which is responsible for protecting the civil rights of Americans, economic freedom and opportunity, public safety, and of course, national security. In short, the Attorney General has real impact on America's everyday life. It is critical that any nominee for this position be committed first and foremost to the Constitution and the American people, not any president or political agenda. But President Trump claims he has, quote, an absolute right to do what he wants with the Justice Department. And that's how he conducted his first term. He interfered with the...
Oh my God, bro. Do you not know? Oh man, like y'all didn't weaponize the whole DOJ against Trump. Like, what are you talking about, man? You're ridiculous.
Criminal cases of his friends and allies and successfully pressured DOJ to investigate his rivals. He even tried to use the Justice Department to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. The president-elect made it clear that he values one thing above all else, and he said it over and over again, loyalty. Speaking about Attorney General Sessions, Donald Trump said, quote, the only reason I gave him the job is because I felt loyalty. He was an original supporter. But when then Attorney General Sessions did the right thing and recused himself from the Mueller investigation, Trump said he should never have nominated him, and he fired him. Trump then nominated Bill Barr to succeed Sessions. Barr successfully auditioned for the job in an unsolicited memo to DOJ that sharply criticized the Mueller investigation. Once confirmed, Barr misrepresented and blocked the release of the report, intervened in multiple criminal cases of Trump's political allies, and spread falsehoods about election fraud. But in December of 2020, when Bill Barr finally announced there was no evidence of widespread voter fraud that would change the outcome of the election, Trump dismissed him, fired his second Attorney General. This time around, President-elect Trump has vowed not just to use the Justice Department to advance his political interests, but also to seek, quote, retribution against, quote, the enemy within. He has repeatedly threatened to arrest, prosecute, jail, and otherwise punish those he considers his enemies. This includes reporters,
Yeah, some of these people be talking slow, so I sped it up. Let me make it normal.
Prosecutors, judges, poll workers, military officials, and even his own former political appointees. Even before taking office, Trump has forced out his own FBI director that he appointed, Chris Wray. And he's trying to replace Wray with Kash Patel, whose main qualification to be FBI director seems to be his loyalty to Donald Trump. Patel has even compiled an enemies list of, quote, government gangsters to target that even includes former Trump appointees like Director Wray, Attorney General Barr, and Defense Secretary Esper. Trump's approach is a stark contrast with the bipartisan view born out of the post-Nixon era that the Justice Department should serve the interest of the American people, not any one president. For those who need a reminder, Richard Nixon ordered department officials to fire Archibald Cox, the special prosecutor investigating Watergate. Two of those officials, Elliot Richardson and William Ruckelshaus, resigned rather than carry out Richard Nixon's orders. When this committee considered the appointment of Loretta Lynch to be President Obama's Attorney General, A Republican member.
Shout out to KMG. He said, hello from New York. Your stream popped up. I'm new here. I'll throw you a sub. Shout out to you. If you watch uploads and stuff like that, shout out to you, man. Because I'm going to start uploading. Some people just stay in the shorts. But, man, I appreciate the subscription.
Of the committee emphasized, and I quote, "What we need from our next Attorney General more than anything else is independence." That same member, who now still serves on the committee, said, and I quote, "The job is not to be the president's wingman. The job is to represent all Americans. The Attorney General must be willing to stand up to the president and say no when the office demands it." When Attorney General nominee Merrick Garland came before this committee, another one of my Republican colleagues still serving told Garland, and I quote, "My sole criterion for voting for your confirmation is your pledge to make sure that politics does not affect your job as Attorney General." So the view that the Justice Department must be insulated from political influence should...
Wait, hold on. Tisha said, I really hope you guys are right. I'm really afraid he's going to start World War III. Why would you be more afraid of Trump than Biden when Biden has given Ukraine authorization to launch long-range missiles into Russia? Like, why would you think that Trump is going to be worse when he's actually actively right now, like talking to different countries and trying to like aid with ceasefires and trying to get Hamas to give back hostages and stuff like that? Why would you think that Trump is the person that's going to start a World War III? Like, he's the person that seems like he's more of peace, but he let him know, like, he not want to play with.
Should not be weaponized against political rivals.
Shout out to Angela Simpson says, I'm new here from Greenville, South Carolina. Hello all. Shout out to you.
Historically been bipartisan, certainly on this committee. At this crucial moment in history, that view, not Mr. Trump's view, must prevail. Ms. Bondi?
Yeah, and then Jamie Leah 87 is a member on the channel, said Trump gave us peace before. Yeah, and there was no new wars under Trump. That's another thing that was amazing. No new wars.
You've made many years of it. You have many experience.
Yo, he said he's already threatening Canada, Mexico, and Greenland. Hey, he joking around with Trudeau, bro. It's what it is. Thug life. And as far as Mexico, he letting the lady that runs Mexico know, if you don't do something with stopping the people that's coming over here, or at least try to show us that you're going to stop the people that's coming over here from coming over here, we're raising tariffs. That ain't like trying to go to war. I mean, we could just take Mexico if we feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we America, dog. Like, if we feel like, okay, we just going to take it over. Like, we could do that if we feel like it. You know, but he not doing that. He just like, yo, like, what we going to do is we're just going to raise the tariffs. And that's and they're like, oh, well, they don't understand. It's going to hurt the cost of cars in America. Like, bro, we got Tesla here. We got all kind of cars. Like, no, we don't care. Stop people from coming over here. Like, y'all sending like bad people over here. That's, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody that comes over here is bad, but I mean, there's a lot of criminals and stuff coming over here. And I'm sure they would rather them be in America than Mexico. So it's like, come on, bro. He ain't playing with them. Like, he's giving them ultimatums, and if they don't want to abide by the ultimatum, it is what it is.
Years of experience in law enforcement, including nearly a decade of service as Attorney General in one of the largest states of the nation. But I need to know that you would tell the president no if you're asked to do something that is wrong, illegal, or unconstitutional. Ms. Bondi, you are one of 4 Trump personal lawyers that he has already selected for top positions in the Department of Justice. You joined Mr. Trump in working to overturn the 2020 election. You repeatedly described investigations and prosecutions of Mr. Trump as witch hunts, and you have echoed his calls for investigating and prosecuting his political opponents. This flies in the face of evidence, like Mr. Trump's call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. We've all heard that audio recording. These are the kinds of anti-democratic efforts that in the past you have defended, and it's critical that we understand whether you remain supportive of Mr. Trump's actions. I also have questions whether you will focus on the needs of the American people rather than wealthy special interests.
Yo, local thing said, Tika is definitely taking some serious SSRIs. Yo.
I'm concerned that you failed to identify your extensive lobbying for foreign governments and big
like a strong man stops the wars because he know the dangers of wars, and he don't want to send innocent people out there to, you know what I'm saying, lose their lives and stuff like that, man. Like there's nothing good in war. The only thing good with war is peace. You know what I'm saying? Like when it finally like is done, but like there's nothing good with war. Like look, all them hundreds of thousands of people have died like in Ukraine and Russia. Like it's ridiculous. Like you need a president to get in there and be like, this is not going down. Putin was willing to talk to Trump before he even got into office. Biden seen that and was like, let's give Ukraine authorization to launch long-range missiles into Russia. Let's give them another hundreds of millions of dollars. Like it's crazy, man. Like we need Trump in there tomorrow.
Corporations as potential conflicts of interest. There'll be questions in this hearing on that issue. That's why I've asked the Justice Department and the National Archives for information on your lobbying of the Trump White House and your foreign lobbying disclosures. I'm particularly concerned about your work on behalf of the government of Qatar, which reportedly paid you $115,000 a month to launder their image on human trafficking, an issue of bipartisan concern on this committee. We need an attorney general who will enforce our antitrust laws to prevent price fixing and monopolies that lead to higher prices for American consumers, not favor corporate giants that you've lobbied for in the past.
Okay, so how come y'all didn't do anything about that within the last 4 years with the attorney general? How come y'all didn't go after corporations that were price fixing and price gouging and charging Americans all kind of money for food? How come y'all didn't do nothing? Now y'all want to bring it up and talk about it now with this attorney general? You know why y'all didn't do nothing? Because y'all weaponized the DOJ to go against the ex-president, Trump. That's why y'all didn't do anything about it, because they were tied up trying to go after Trump. But now you want to say, oh, man. Froggy Megsy, they think we crazy. Like this is literal insanity.
Yes, like Amazon and Uber. I also have questions about some of your actions as Florida Attorney General. I'm concerned that your office failed to investigate.
Exactly. CJ 1978 said, I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's go. MAGA. Make America great again.
More than 24 complaints about the...
Trump is like getting older, bro. Like he doesn't have to do this. Like he could just go somewhere, retire, sit on a yacht, chill. He doesn't have to do it. Like he's doing this because he knows the country needs it. There is nobody else that will fix this. He's got grandkids and stuff. Like he don't want his family like to be dealing with this. He see what the Biden administration is doing. Like, nah, like this is the best grandfather ever. He's like, nah, I'm not about to let my, you know what I'm saying? My family deal with, like, I'm fixing this country. Like, shout out to him, bruh.
For-profit Trump University, after Mr. Trump donated to your re-election campaign and held a fundraiser for you at Mar-a-Lago. In addition, you have a long track record on the issue of civil rights, reproductive rights, voting rights, and LGBTQ rights that needs to be discussed. In contrast, Ms. Bondi, Merrick Garland didn't campaign for President Biden, never served as his personal attorney, never lobbied on behalf of foreign governments and corporate giants. After years of relentless criticism on Attorney General Garland from many of my Republican colleagues, I hope they're prepared to hold you to the same standard. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it's now time for senators to introduce the nominee.
Norma Jess with the $4.99. Appreciate you.
The first one will be Senator Scott at the table, as you see, and Senator Schmidt is a member of this committee at his place on the dais. Senator Scott, please proceed.
Mr. Chairman, ranking member, and committee members.
Hey, local thing said I voted for Trump 3 times and he won 3 times. We can't talk about that though, you know what I'm saying, until tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, Thug, like, you know what I mean? But a lot of people feel like that. They voted for him 3 times, he won all 3 times.
It is an absolute honor to sit before you today to introduce my good friend, Pam Bondi, for her nomination hearing. I'd also like to recognize some important people appearing in support of her.
We got 82,000 views on the video. They trying to slow it down. If y'all can't hit the hundreds, confetti, the likes, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We not playing. Like, we got to get Pam Bondi's name out there more. I mean, she already lit. Everybody talking about her. What? We got to get into that algorithm too. Hit the hundreds.
Her today, her husband John, as well as her mother, father-in-law, sister, brother, sister-in-law, and nephews, friends, and family members of John. Many more would surely be here if space allowed. I can tell you wholeheartedly that President Trump couldn't have a better leader than Pam Bondi for Attorney General. She is undoubtedly qualified, brilliant, and committed to defending and protecting the laws of this nation, and has a track record to prove it. It is no secret that the DOJ is facing a public trust crisis after Democrats spent years weaponizing the justice system and the entire federal government. They become an agency that attacks the American people instead of defending and protecting them. That will change under Pam Bondi. Under her leadership, the DOJ will actually fairly enforce the laws, protect the rights of the American people, and keep our nation safe, and crack down on violent crimes and dangerous drugs. And the American people will trust her to do so. I know that well because I worked alongside Pam Bondi for 8 years when I was governor of Florida, and she was Florida's elected attorney general, working to improve the lives of Floridians to make Florida the best state in the nation to live, work, and raise a family. Pam was an incredible partner, working to keep Florida safe and uphold the laws of our state, ensuring.
So TikTok has been restored. And in agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing. Hold on, let me show y'all this real quick. Hold on. My phone is like blowing up. Hold on. Real quick. Dang, Froggy Megsy. I just looked at her channel. Oh, she is fine. Lord Jesus. Ugh. Froggy Megsy, I might have to holler. Froggy.
Crime.
Let me show y'all this real quick. Yeah, they saying TikTok is restored. We'll see. Let me go to my Twitter and show y'all, and then I'm gonna go on the TikTok app to see. All right, so who we at with it? I don't know. I don't know. It's saying like
it's aggressively pursued.
We about to check it. I don't be believing people. It's restored. TikTok is up. It's restored.
By law enforcement.
It says in a statement from TikTok, in an agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and insurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans. Hold up. Yep, it's on. Now, I don't want to hear none of y'all. Hold on. We about to. Hold up. Yeah, service providers. I don't want to hear nothing negative about Trump on TikTok from you Democrats. Yes! Now what? Yeah, so he restored it, bro. Let me see if I can. Let me. It won't let me retweet this, bro. But let me read it for you. It said, in an agreement with our service provider, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. That's my president dog life. Now what? I don't want to hear y'all say nothing wrong about that dude.
And prosecutors. President Trump has made clear that one of his top priorities is to reverse the rising rates of crime, and specifically violent crime, that have plagued our communities over the past 4 years. Pam Bondi.
Oh, TikTok about to go crazy on Joe Biden. Hey, and they restored it right before he ends up doing the Fauci pardon that they are alleging that he may do like hours before he's out of office. So they're going to go in.
Bondi is uniquely equipped to advance his priority as U.S. Attorney General because she has a proven track record of success in achieving dramatic reductions in.
Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome's gotta suck. Like they've been wrong all this time, bro. And yo, TikTok is thinking Trump, bro. Like, oh, all of the liberals on TikTok, y'all gonna look crazy now. I cannot wait for Piers Morgan to have a debate on this. Oh, y'all know we going live when that debate go down. Shout out to Piers Morgan.
Crime and violent crime during her time.
Froggy Maxie said everybody live on TikTok. Everybody is live right now on TikTok. Thug Life.
Florida's Attorney General. From 2010, the year before she took office, to 2018, the last year she was in office, together, Florida experienced a remarkable 26% drop in overall crime, including a 19.6% drop in violent crime and a 27.4% drop in property crime. These aren't just numbers. These are tens of thousands of lives saved and communities improved and made safer and families and businesses protected. As Florida's Attorney General, Pam Bondi also spearheaded other life-saving initiatives like tackling the opioid epidemic and fighting human trafficking. Her achievements are too many for me to list in this short introduction. As U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi will restore law and order to the nation. She'll put Americans' interests first and make the nation a better and safer place. I urge every single member of this committee to support my friend Pam Bondi, and I look forward to voting for her confirmation soon on the Senate floor and help her get to work for the American people. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Durbin, and members of the committee. It is an honor for me and a privilege to introduce Pam Bondi, President Trump's nominee to be the 87th Attorney General of the United States. I have known and worked closely with Pam for years, and I'm glad to call her a friend. When Pam was nominated by President Trump, my reaction was, this is a home run. As many of us are, I was only to be outdone by Senator Graham, who described the nomination as a grand slam, touchdown, hole-in-one, ace, hat trick, slam dunk, Olympic gold medal pick, and he's right. As the letter joined by more than 100 former Justice Department officials put it, quote, it's all too rare for senior Justice Department officials, much less attorneys general, to have such a wealth of experience in the day-to-day work of keeping our communities safe, end quote. Pam exemplifies and personifies the Department of Justice's mission to uphold the rule of law, to keep our communities safe, and to protect our rights and liberties as Americans.
So hold on, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this real quick. TikTok has been saved. The service will be returning shortly, and then that's what I read. Statement from TikTok: in an agreement with our service provider, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalty, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. So Yeah, man. So that's the latest. The one that they don't like. The one that they don't like. Just saved they buzz.
Pam has distinguished herself in her career in public service that has taken her from her small town upbringing in Temple Terrace, Florida, to a hearing before this esteemed committee. After attending the University of Florida and Stetson University College of Law, she started her career as a local prosecutor in Hillsborough.
Monkey Doo said, thank you, President Trump, for bringing TikTok back. Thank you for caring for all of us. You show your love for this country first, then others. Knowledge Junkie is a member on the channel, said now Google and Apple have to make them available for download again for those who uninstalled them. Oh, did you uninstall it? But no, I know what you're saying. Somebody said Trump loves this country and all of us. He wants the best for all of us, whether you see it or not. Yeah, for selfless reasons. This chick says, I hate TikTok, but that taking freedom of speech away, next one will be YouTube. Then what? Yeah, I know. I bet Musk and Zuckerberg's gonna be like, man, we was about to get all them followers. Now they going back to TikTok.
Burrow County, Florida.
There is no freedom of speech on TikTok. It's not. Like you can't say nothing on there. Like, so there's no, and I think they probably made it like that because they've been so terrified that they were going to try to take TikTok away from them. They just like censor you like crazy. But I don't create content on there. Like I may every once in a while joke around, make a video, but I don't really create content because or even comment on there really because they remove everything.
As a local prosecutor for nearly 2 decades, Pam kept her community.
As somebody said, he may only bring it back for 90 days. If there's no American buyers after then, well, it will be banned. I think a lot of creators need to wake up and try to think about leaving that platform. You know what I'm saying? And just, maybe, still do your TikTok thing, but maybe try to get your followers on the YouTube or somewhere else. That's what I would do. Because you don't know if they're going to do that again. Like I was talking to, I know like a really big creator on there, right? There's a lot of big creators on there. And I was like, why you keep creating content? And this was like 2 days ago. I'm like, yo, they about to take it. He's like, well, it's like, well, just go on a different platform.
Safe, prosecuting violent criminals, drug dealers, those who had threatened the local community, and those who stood in opposition to the rule of law.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button. They slowing the video now. You know how they do. Black conservative. Hit the like button.
Pam's fellow Floridians then elected her to serve as Florida's Attorney General, where she was the first woman in state history elected to that office. As a former state Attorney General myself, I can vouch for the
local thing said freedom of speech means exactly how it sounds. It's not a violation of free speech. It's just an app. Yeah, to me, it's just an app. It's just an app. And it's an app with no freedom of speech. TikTok doesn't have any freedom of speech, bro. Like, there's none on that app.
The deep experience that Pam Bondi has developed from serving in that role. As the chief law enforcement official in her state, she worked with local prosecutors to fight crime, worked to protect our constitutional rights, or the constitutional rights of Floridians, and stood up for the little guy by taking on abuses of power. As Florida's Attorney General, she worked tirelessly to combat the opioid crisis, fighting pill mills, and helping to combat the widespread misuse and trafficking of deadly drugs, including fentanyl, which have devastated families and communities all across our country. She stood up for Floridians in the wake of a 2008 financial crisis, leading to the National Mortgage Settlement
Act. And that's the cool part, right? She got some Republicans speaking up for her. Shout out to, Pam Bondi.
Resulting in $56 billion in compensation to victims. And after the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, Pam was there and stood up for Floridians by getting $2 billion from the companies responsible. On a more personal note, Pam has always taken it upon herself to help others. She's incredibly generous and someone I could always count on. She's truthful, she's tough, and she's a born leader. She has charted her own course with the rare combination.
Froggy Megzy, no! Froggy Megzy, no!
Of backbone and heart. The next Attorney General of the United States must restore trust by reversing the
Yeah, Pig, I see what you say. You said hard to believe she's 59. She does not look 59. But you know, she's like a millionaire. So she probably eat real good and
weaponization we've seen the last 4 years. And refocus.
If you really look at her, she does look aged. But like when you first look at her, you're like, whoa, is she 59?
That department to its core mission, administering justice. The next Attorney General must promote the rule of law, take on violent crime, keep our communities safe, and safeguard the God-given rights that each American has protected in our Constitution. I can think of no one more up to that task than Pam Bondi, a career prosecutor and widely respected Attorney General with the prudence, fortitude, and temperance for this incredibly important job. Mr. Chairman, it is truly an honor for me to introduce Pam Bondi to this committee and to our country here today and speak on her behalf, and it's my hope that her nomination will be swiftly confirmed.
Thank you, Senator Schmidt. Now, Ms. Bondi, would you please come forward, and before you're seated, I'd like to administer oath. Would you please raise your right hand and answer this question? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give to this committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated and move ahead with your opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley, Ranking Member Durbin, and members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I've had the opportunity to meet with almost all of you, and I greatly appreciate that. I'm grateful to President Trump and to this committee for your consideration to be the 87th Attorney General of the United States.
Hey,
I would not be here.
Hey, Goonie, chill out, man. I see you in the comments, man. Goonie, chill, bro.
Without my family. And if you can bear with me for just a moment, a lot of them have made a very long trip, and I wrote them all down so I don't forget.
Hey, y'all hit the like button. We got to get to 100,000 views. We got 92,000. Hit the like button, man.
Anyone. My beautiful mother, who wouldn't be here, a retired kindergarten teacher, would not be here without my mom. As of a week ago, it was 12 years since we lost my dad to leukemia. Feels like 12 days. My amazing husband, John, and his two incredible girls, Collins and Finley. Collins is a senior at University of Florida, and I think all of you on this committee will be very happy to know Finley is in cybersecurity. There's a third who is traveling abroad.
She do got some Botox going on there. Not gonna lie, I can tell.
Odd. I wish she could be here. My amazing father-in-law, David. My sister, Beth. My brother-in-law is home with my niece. My nephews.
Imagine this being your wife, though. Like, you got to be crazy proud. Like, she was an attorney general of, like Florida? And then now she's going for... Like, you got to be crazy proud, bro.
You could just raise your hand. Evan, Jake, and soon-to-be niece, Savannah. My brother, Brad, a brilliant lawyer. My sister-in-law, Tandy. And my nephews, Justin, who just got a 4.0 at UVA. Rex, great college tennis player. Brad, great tennis player. Is Rhea here? And my niece, my beautiful niece, Rhea. And the little guy is in school because he's 10. My friends, Leslie, Kathy, Dina, Tiffany, Kim, Paula, and so many of my former coworkers. And Ranking Member Durbin, if you want to get dirt on me, these women have known me since I was a child. Seriously, most of them. So thank you for indulging me in that. They've all made a very long trip to be here. And thank you for holding my hearing as well and not postponing it. I appreciate that. Thank you all. From the moment
Trump is petty, bro. Like, hold on, let me show y'all what y'all just did. Hold on, look. Y'all know that Donald Trump and Obama was talking, so somebody had put like what they think they was talking about.
Well, Mr. President, for a second time. Barack, very nice to see you. Congratulations. So how you doing? I'm a lot better now. Yeah.
Yo, what? This is funny, bro. Somebody said her grandma's Betty White. Chill.
No, you win. Oh, really? Oh, come on. Anyone could beat her. She's just... I was just as appalled.
He is petty.
Interned at the state attorney's office in Tampa, Florida. All I wanted to do was be a prosecutor. The Supreme Court certified me, and I had 4 jury trials while still in law school. Lost most of them, but had 4 jury trials and never wanted to do anything else. I continued my career there, trying everything from DUIs, domestic violence cases, capital murder cases, the whole gamut. I became a lead trial attorney in courtroom every day, trying career criminals, was deputy chief of a division, and then ultimately was felony bureau chief, and eventually left to become Florida's 37th Attorney General for the state of Florida. Nothing has impacted.
I knew it. I was like, Christian Medway gonna come in here and say something. He said she divorced twice. Chill, bro.
In my career, more than my experience as a state prosecutor, because I got to know and still keep in touch with many victims and their families from when I was a prosecutor.
It says she married Garrett Barnes in 1990. The couple divorced after 22 months of marriage. In 1996, Bondi married Scott Fitchland. They divorced in 2002. Yo, she mad old. I mean, she ain't mad old, you know what I'm saying? But like, she older than me. Like, I didn't, like, yo, she lived life. I wish I would, I mean, you know, if we can go back in time, like being like a grown up in like the early 90s had to be fire. Like, that had to be dope, man. Like, the 90s was like heaven. Like, I remember the 90s was amazing, bro. Like, she lived a lot of life in the 90s.
And becoming Attorney General.
But then you'd be like 59 now.
In 2011, I proudly served for 2 terms. I was term limited. I would probably still be.
Well, y'all acting like 59 is like a million years old. Y'all chill, man.
There right now had I not been kicked out of office by term limits. I loved being Attorney General. I did my best to keep Florida safe, to continue to stand up for victims of crime, and to...
And y'all acting like, bro, if Pam Bondi slid in your DMs, y'all is answering.
Fight the opioid crisis and the drug crisis that was not only facing Florida, but this entire country. Out of the top 100...
Spook for Life said, bro said she old AF, not us. Christian Medwick says she's an ambulance chaser.
This is one of the things I'm the most proud of.
Now, 59 ain't that old.
Oxycodone dispensers in the entire country, I believe it was 98 of them, 90 or 98 of them, lived in Florida. We fought for tough legislation. Kids were dropping dead every day. We fought for tough legislation. And after that legislation,
Shout out to
none
Tracy Weaver
of those opioid dealers, doctors, practiced in Florida. We fought to eliminate human trafficking by raising awareness.
Y'all subscribe to the channel. Stop playing with me, Thug Life. We only got 400 subscribers today. Subscribe to the channel. Do I gotta put it in? Like, listen to me. What is y'all doing?
And prevention and talking to parents and talking to children. We also provided critical resources, including safe.
Y'all act like I'm about to get 1 million subscribers or something. Stop playing. Subscribe to the channel now.
houses that my state was lacking. On the civil side, we worked to protect consumers. We tackled everything, including off-label prescription marketing, which affects, as you know.
I wish they would do something about drug companies like marketing on TV, because a lot of elderly people are, you know, like they're afraid of their mortality, so they see these targeted ads for different medications and stuff like that. And you know, you're at risk if, like, they're at risk if they go to a doctor and the doctor's just trying to make money off them. Like, yeah, I'll give you that. So they need to stop like the aggressive marketing. Like, where did I go? I think I went to go visit a family member in a nursing home, right? And they were watching TV. I'm like, man, it's like, because I don't have cable in the house or nothing. I just got like the internet, you know, and then I buy like 4K DVDs or whatever, because I got like a couple movie theaters or whatever in the house. So I don't really watch like TV unless it's Netflix or something, right? But on a TV, like the amount of drug commercials is insane. That needs to stop in America. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and then Drake and all these people like marketing Ozempic, they are. Like what? Like, that's crazy.
Many people who can't afford prescriptions as well. We partnered with states' attorneys general.
Why did I have to tell all y'all people to subscribe? Why didn't y'all just do it? We got 60 subscribers. Shout out to y'all. Thug life. Appreciate y'all.
Both parties and federal agencies across administrations. We went after price gougers during hurricanes. If confirmed as the next Attorney General of the United States, my overriding objective will be to return the Department of Justice to its core mission of keeping Americans safe and vigorously prosecuting criminals. And that includes getting back to basics: gangs, drugs, terrorists, cartels, our border, and our foreign adversaries. That is what the American people expect, and that is what they deserve from the Department of Justice. If confirmed, I will do everything in my power, and it will be my great responsibility to make America safe again. Making America safe again also requires...
But she's been like heavily supporting Trump. She was going to the rallies. Like, you seen her, like, so I don't know. I think she gonna do good by this administration. What y'all think?
Reduce.
Key Love said, decide to subscribe. Thank you for the information. Appreciate you. Jamie Leah 87. We got look like 100,000 views on this one. Oh, all right. Fire.
Reducing recidivism. We have to fix the Bureau of Prisons, and I am looking on both sides of the aisle. The Bureau has suffered from years of mismanagement, lack of funding, and low morale. I was proud to support President Trump's First Step Act. I think more can be implemented and more can be done on that front. President Trump's leadership on criminal justice reform has demonstrated what is possible when a president is unafraid to do things that have been deemed to be too difficult. We have to reach across the aisle and get solutions for all of these problems. Like the president, I believe we are on the cusp of a new golden age where the Department of Justice...
You've been subbed since 2016. Shout out. And a local thing says he's been subbed since 1999.
Can and will do better if I am confirmed. Lastly, and most importantly, if confirmed, I will fight every day to restore confidence and integrity to the Department of Justice and each of its components.
And right now, people do not trust the Department of Justice. They think they're corrupt.
The partisanship, the weaponization will be gone. America will have one tier of justice for all. In all this work, I'll
And
collaborate.
then think about like all the stuff that they should have been prosecuting that they didn't prosecute because they were all after Trump. So I'm glad that there's going to be a change of administration.
Closely with this committee. I will work with all of you as I've committed to do when I met with almost all of you.
How you gonna be sub since 1999 and this channel hasn't even been active that long? You wildin'. Best Bully Scotland said she cooked them the other day. Yeah, she did. And then G. Allen B said, Thug Life, happy to see you. Shout out to you. Timothy said, this is a great American people, states of America, great again. Go Trump 2025. She's a respectful person. And then Froggy's back said, Froggy Mexi, don't play. Froggy, did you go to TikTok and try to scroll a little bit? Froggy Mexi was like, be right back. Let me hit that TikTok for a minute. Don't be trying to play me for TikTok, Froggy.
And I will partner not only
Frog Mexi
with the federal agencies, but with the state and local officials throughout our great country. I look forward to answering your questions today and working together for this country and our Constitution. Thank you, Senators.
I will ask first questions and Senator Durbin, and then I'll call on the Democrat people the way that Senator Durbin would.
Hey, Froggy, I knew you did that. That's why Froggy was like, I'll be right back. I'm like, no, because I knew she was going to go on TikTok, bro.
Say so on their arrival or here by seniority in the same way on the House side. And I'll make sure that I don't abuse the 7 minutes. I want you to have your attention on this binder that I put up here. It gets to a key factor of each senator's role in oversight. It contains.
Hold on. Let's see what. So Hamas is handing over hostages, eh? Let's see this real quick. We're going to get back to her in a second. Hamas frees 3 Israeli hostages under Gaza ceasefire deal. In the first images of 3 hostages, Rami Gun, I'm not going to even say their name, being released to the Israel Defense Forces on Sunday after their long captivity by Hamas, their faces told a story of resilience after spending 471 days as prisoners. Yo, that's crazy. All 3 women were able to walk unaided from Red Cross vehicles to waiting IDF officials, marking the first step in Israelis' historic ceasefire and the hostage exchange agreement with Hamas. So he told them, like, yo, you want to start releasing people. I want to see how many hostages they have, though.
Contains 144 oversight letters that I sent to the Biden-Harris Justice Department and its component agencies, with many of those letters in there to the FBI, adding letters to the Inspector General.
Yo, they abducted 251 people? Nah, 3 hostages is not enough. I wonder if they're still alive. That's not, man, I cannot wait for tomorrow, bro.
General, that would be about 165 letters. So I've sent more letters since you've been in my office before Christmas. Should you be confirmed, 144 letters will be your responsibility. The responses I have received so far fall in 2 categories. First, they weren't answered at all. Second, I received a response, but it didn't fully respond. Said another way,
hey, y'all stop trying to talk to Froggy, bro. That's my internet wife.
The Justice Department merely sent me words on a piece of paper. So, should you be confirmed, you'll have an obligation to respond even to the minority and consider a letter from them, even if my signature's not on it, as they want information. Will you commit to responding to my oversight requests as well as the request of other members of the committee?
Chairman, either I or my top staff will personally review the letters and do everything we can to respond to you.
Your tenure as Florida Attorney General was impressive. You fought against pill mills, human trafficking. You eliminated a backlog of rape test kits in state labs. You fought against organized retail theft, and you were known to stand for law and order. With such achievements, it's easy to see why the people of Florida reelected you in 2014 and why President-elect Trump nominated you to serve as the nation's chief law enforcement officer. So this gives you a chance to tell us on this committee and the people of this country what you're proud of as your record as Attorney General of Florida.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. I was truly honored to serve the people of the state of Florida for 8 years, but it was a team effort. I had great people around me, many of whom are in this room today. And we did a lot. We did a lot to fight crime, and I've been reminiscing a lot since I was asked to take this nomination. Opioids, as I talked about, were a top priority right when I took office. When I was running for office.
What do y'all think about, it seemed like Florida kind of got their stuff together. Remember they were about to get that hurricane was about to go through there? And the governor was right on it. Like he had everything like in order. Like the people that run Florida, I think they do a really good job, man. Like I do.
I went through the entire state of Florida. Parents were walking up to me, handing me pictures of their children who were deceased from opioid abuse. After I was elected, I took those pictures and I framed them in my office as a goal of stopping that fight, which I talked about in my opening statement. And if U.S. Attorney General, I'll bring those pictures back out and they will be there to inspire me on the further drug abuse we're facing throughout this country. We also learned that something else was happening. Pregnant women were having babies as a result of being opioid dependent. We call it neonatal abstinence syndrome. We fought to educate mothers. We fought that issue as well. Fentanyl was wreaking havoc in our country, but it was just getting started. I actually fought my own party a bit on scheduling fentanyl because at that time people thought it was something you merely got in the hospital on a patch after surgery. Apples and oranges, and boy, do we all know that now, the difference. Good.
I want to kind of fast forward it and see some people that may not like her because I want to see how she handles it.
Your preventative services, and despite the fact that you twice joined suits to have the entire Affordable Care Act invalidated, will you commit to defending this law?
Yeah, I believe this is very different. It's a very isolated, it's different. It's not the entire Affordable Care Act, but I will, it's pending litigation, of course, within the department.
Okay. Since the 1990s, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act has protected patients, providers, and facilities that provide reproductive health services. Will you commit to continuing to enforce the FACE Act to address violence and threats against those providing reproductive health care services?
Senator, the FACE Act not only protects abortion clinics, but it also protects pregnancy centers and people going for counseling. The law should be applied even-handedly. Yes, Senator.
So you'll uphold the enforcement of that law?
I'll uphold the enforcement of the law, Senator.
Okay, and I will ask my antitrust questions in the next round. We had a good discussion about that, and I do appreciate the nominee that has been put in place for the antitrust division, and there's incredibly important work that has to be done in that division. So
Gail Slater is remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you.
I thank all of my colleagues for abiding by the 7-minute rule. Before I call on Senator Lee, I want everybody to plan on our first break would be about 11.
Sucker Free said, why did you make me subscribe to comment? Cause I did. Shout out to you. Achilles said, I can't say that word on here. Timothy said, from the South, Brandon, Florida city, possible I will be the next president owner of the city of Brandon, Florida.
50, and that would be 30 minutes for lunch. Senator Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Bondi, for being here today. I too share the assessment that Gail Slater is great. Had a great meeting with her yesterday. And just thrilled that you're here and that you're willing to serve. I'd like to talk to you as a longtime lawyer and one who has handled a variety of criminal matters about the Fourth Amendment. What can you tell us about the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement and why it's so important?
Well, the warrant requirement is so important, which I've dealt with that since I was in my 20s as a state prosecutor.
I think he actually is in favor of her. I want to go to somebody that doesn't like her to see how she handles.
To accept the results of that system, does it not?
Yes, Senator.
And that makes Americans less likely to follow the substantive laws that we pass that are administered by the Department of Justice. Isn't that true?
Yes, Senator.
And if that happens, we have chaos, don't we?
Chaos.
And the social contract is breached.
He likes her. Okay, that he don't like her. Let's go to him real quick. See how she handles this.
That you've been asked today. You say the right things, that you're going to be the people's lawyer. That's what you have to say to be here. But I believe being the people's lawyer means you have to be able to say no.
Hey, sucker free, chill, bro. You trying to go after my internet white froggy, bro. What is you doing?
President of the United States. You have to speak.
He's like, what's your TikTok?
Truth to power. You have to be able to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. You dodged that question when you were asked directly by Senator Durbin. You have to be able to say that January 6th insurrectionists who committed violence shouldn't be pardoned. You have to be able to say that a nominee for the FBI director who says he has an enemy list, and that's just the beginning of what he has said in terms of politicizing, deeply weaponizing the FBI against political opponents, that he shouldn't be the FBI director. You know, we have some history here with your predecessors, Barr, Sessions, and others, who perhaps sincerely, when they sat where you are now, said that they would say no, but they were working with a president that expected them to be his Roy Cohn, his personal attorney. Do you really think that you can avoid the disgrace that they encountered or the repercussions from the White House if you say no to the president? And so my question to you is, can you say no to the president of the United States when he asks you to do something unethical or illegal?
Senator, first, I need to clarify something that you said, that I have to sit up here and say these things. No, I don't. I sit up here and speak the truth. I'm not going to sit up here and say anything that I need to say to get confirmed by this body. I don't have to say anything. I will answer the questions to the best of my ability.
Well,
and honestly,
let me ask you, an individual who says that he is going to, quote, come after, end quote, people he alleges, quote.
Exactly. Adam Knight said, what questioning is this? Like, what is he asking? Like, oh, can you tell the president no? Like, what?
Help Joe Biden rig the presidential elections, that he has a list of people who are part of this deep state who should be prosecuted, that he's going to close down the FBI building on his first day in office. Is that a person who appropriately should be the FBI director? Aren't those comments inappropriate, shouldn't you disavow them and ask him to recant them?
What? What? Yo, I think we could all be politicians, bro. Like what? Like this? They are asking the silliest questions in the world. These are the people that we are giving like lifelong health care to, all this money. They don't know nothing, bro. They don't know anything.
Senator, I am not familiar with all those comments. I have not discussed those comments with Mr. Patel. What I do know
Well,
is
I'm
Mr.
asking
Patel,
you for your view.
Excuse me. What I do know is Mr. Patel was a career prosecutor. He was a career public defender.
Exactly. Adam Knight saying taxpayers paying this man's salary sound dumb AF. Christian Medwick said, "Where's Matt Gaetz?" Yo, Christian Medwick, I know you gonna turn Republican, bro. Just stop like fighting it, man.
Defender, defending people. And he also has great experience within the intelligence community. What I can sit here and tell you is Mr. Patel, if he works with running the FBI, if he is confirmed, and if I am confirmed, he will follow the law if I am the Attorney General of the United States of America, and I don't believe he would do anything otherwise.
Well, let me just submit that the response that I would have hoped to hear from you is that those comments are inappropriate and that you will ask him to disavow or recant them when he comes before this committee.
Well, why would an attorney, like, what?
Because they are indeed chilling to fair enforcement and the rule of law. Let me ask you on another topic. When we met, I welcomed your support for the goals of the Kids Online Safety Act. And Senator Blackburn and I have spent...
Hey, Sandra, TikTok is already up. Like, I was just like looking at it.
A lot of time, devoted a lot of effort to the passage of the Kids Online Safety Act, which happened by an overwhelming vote of 91-3. 72 co-sponsors, including Vice President-elect Vance. I appreciated our discussion and your support for protecting kids online when we met last week. I'm hopeful that this area is one where we can work together. Can we count on your support in working together to protect kids online?
Senator, absolutely, and thank you for that legislation, and Senator Blackburn. I believe in this world right now, we have to find the things we have in common, and that is certainly one of them, Senator, protecting our children from online predators.
Craig Wilson said Rush Limbaugh needs to come back to live to put these Democrats back in check.
You've done.
We was talking about him earlier.
So much on that front, and I thank you. I attempted to do that as well when I was Attorney General, but I am committed to working with you on anything we can do to protect our children throughout this country. When I was Attorney General, we started something called From Instant Message to Instant Nightmare, and educating parents about...
Exactly. Tim Hart said not her job, and all this is prior to her involvement.
Online predators. And that also, Senator, is one of the core functions of the FBI, the cyber unit. They sit there, these agents sit there all day long and investigate child predators. We tell parents constantly, you think
Ms.
you're
Bondi,
talking to another
I
child,
apologize.
and you're not.
I'm going to interrupt you. I welcome your positive response. I have one more question that I'm going to try to fit into this round. TikTok will be banned unless it is sold because it has become a tool for the Chinese to collect information and do surveillance and endanger our national security. Can you commit that you will enforce that law promptly and effectively? And I ask this question because President Trump's pick for...
All right, Bondi, be very careful how you answer this.
Your Solicitor General in the Department of Justice went to the United States Supreme Court arguing that the ban should be delayed. Will you commit to enforce that law on your first day when you are if you are confirmed?
Senator, as I discussed with you during our meeting, that is pending litigation within the Department of Justice.
Well, it's pending litigation, but will you enforce that law?
I can't discuss pending litigation, but I will talk to all the career
Well, again,
prosecutors who are handling the case. Absolutely, Senator. Discuss with them.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, tell us.
Ms. Bondi, thank you for being here. I think I told you when we met, thank you for the time we met. I was born in Florida, have a lot of friends and family, and follow Florida politics pretty closely, and you've had a very impressive career there, though I do also have to admit I'm a Gator hater, so for the Florida alum, I'm University of Tennessee. But anyway, I actually, in some of these hearings, I created a bingo card to see what some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle were going to hit. I want to go back to a few of them really quickly. One was about you being a lobbyist paid for and on the payroll of Qatar. Would you mind going back and repeating what you said in case people did not hear the involvement of your law firm and precisely what you were doing for the government of Qatar?
Yes, Senator, I was very proud of that work. It was anti-human trafficking in advance of the World Cup, and human trafficking has been something that's been very important to me my entire career, especially when I was Attorney General.
And you also made it clear that you had a number of practitioners within the firm working on it, so this narrative that you were getting $115,000 a month from Qatar is correct or not?
Not correct.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk a little bit about
this lady down here, low key fine too. I ain't gonna even lie.
Well, first off, I want to go back. You should be happy that so many comments have been directed towards Kash Patel, whose confirmation I am supporting. In fact, I'm meeting with him today because that means they're out of stuff for you. So if it comes up again, you will once again know that you've got a great reputation and a great resume, and they're just trying to find things to put your integrity into question. You have answered the question repeatedly that that you will be loyal to the Constitution and you will live up to the oath to the Constitution and to protecting the American people. And I think Mr. Patel, when he becomes here, he'll be able to get rid of the myth in the same way that you did as a lobbyist for Qatar. He'll be able to get rid of that list of the enemies, be able to deal with the enemies list, and the marketing department for your opposition is going to have to come up with new material because that stuff is getting old. Section 702. You heard Senator Lee talk.
He says stop fishing for cougars.
About some concerns that he has with 702. I believe it's one of the most important things that you can do early into your confirmation. You will be confirmed, and hopefully with some Democrat support. That there have been dramatic reforms to 702. I've sat through an extensive presentation to try and make sure.
I think he's articulating this question very good because he's a Republican.
That the abuses never occur again, and that you have a throat to choke if somebody abuses the protocol that's in place. I believe that we need to codify a lot of that. As a matter of fact, when I went through it, I felt like there were so many blinding flashes of the obvious. How could this not have already been a part of the approval matrix? So can you, after you're confirmed, commit that you or a designate will come back and provide for this committee an update on all of the protocols that have changed and recommended legislation for codifying so that when we do go to reauthorization, we'll have what we need to make sure that that program stays in place?
Senator, I or a designee will review all of 702 before it terms, of course, in 2026 and come back and report to you on both sides of the aisle.
Thank you. You have a great perspective with your time in the state and working with the Department of Justice. Give me an idea of things that we need to do better in terms of, and I'm talking primarily in the law enforcement role. I think many people don't understand the joint task forces, the law enforcement efforts that are going every single day in every one of our states. What an incredible job they do. So can you give me some sense of things that you would look at to say?
Christian Bedwiz said Qatar payroll.
Maybe we could do it better from your perspective of having been a prosecutor in Florida.
He said, why hasn't the Democrats stopped him from talking? I don't know. I mean, he's got a right to talk, but he can articulate, unlike a lot of them up there right now. So they probably don't want to challenge him.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Senator. Yeah, having been a career prosecutor, I think I have a unique perspective because I was a state prosecutor, of course, prior to becoming Attorney General. So I worked on a daily basis with local law enforcement and state and not daily with federal, but I worked consistently with state, local, and federal. Then when I was Attorney General, I worked with all three as well. I feel like we have to have better coordination among all our agencies, especially given all the terrorism issues that we've discussed earlier in this hearing. We have to wrap in and communicate better with our local and state law enforcement officers throughout this country. There are so many great men and women in law enforcement, and we have to, I don't know exactly how yet, but we have to figure out a better way to work together with the federal authorities.
Thank you. And I'm going to do a second round as well, but I think I'll...
You know what? I mean, a lot of this always comes down to like law enforcement and stuff like that. But I think they really do need to do something to help like nurses. You know what I mean? And people that work like with elderly people, like they gotta do something to help these people. Like a lot of people are overworked. Like they gotta, like, I don't know why, like they just don't care about like healthcare providers. Like, I mean, they gotta do something like to help people like that.
Also check the...
It's like cops, yeah, you know, they out here fighting crime and all that. Well, they gotta do something about that.
The bingo card for election denier. There were some people, that seemed to suggest that you were denying the election. I think that you said that
and veterans, like they need to do something to help veterans, something more. Like they need to lower like patient to nurse ratios. Like they need to do that. And then they need to do something for the veterans. Because a lot of these people are saying that they can't get adequate help because staff is like short. Joshua Tiff said Democrats are always like, do not treat us like how we treated you. Alma Mom magazine said facts, and people that take care of their parents. Yeah, like they need to honor that. Cause like this is one of, we live in a great country when you're young. But when you start getting up in age, and you got like, like your mom and dad that need assistance. One may be incontinent or, you know what I'm saying? And can't do anything for themselves. And you may have to deal with that for like maybe 10 or 15 years or something like that until they go, or 20 years, depending on what's wrong with them. And you got to work. And the way America is designed now, like it's not like America is designed for you to just work like crazy, right? So if you have anything like a life, like goals, like a life, like, you know what I mean? Like anything you want to do outside of that, or if you have like family you need to attend to, like the world doesn't, like the United States doesn't accommodate that. Whereas like if you're in China or not, like Japan or something, you got like an elderly person, you don't just throw them in the nursing home, like you take care of them. Like it's a way, they got something to where you can take care of like your family. They live at home with you or whatever. But America is just like, yo, you messed up. Like I was dating a girl, like she had to take care of her dying like grandmother. It was like terrible. Like they had to like pay like these people to come to the house, and it's insane, man. And then they gotta work and you got somebody at home. Like it's just crazy. It's so expensive here. Like people don't realize it is so expensive here. I'm like, I had to, like, my mother got into a point, like I had to put her like in a facility because I had to work. Like I'm not a rich kid. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work. I had to like figure things out. Like, and I can't go to work and her be at the house by herself. Like she had cancer. She was like real messed up. So it's like she had to be somewhere. So, and it's just, America is so crazy, bro. Like it is like there needs to be something done something, because I think they bank on you like having a, your heart giving out or something like that, and you just being done. But like if you live to be like 80s, 90s, and good luck. Good luck. Because your grandkids, your kids is going to be so busy trying to survive. It's scary, man. And then like it's designed to where, like, let's just say you were smart when you were younger and you bought a house. Right? And you like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy a house. If something happens, like, got the equity from the house to like take care of until whatever. Bro, like the way these like nursing homes are designed, like they cost so much money. Like there's people paying like $10,000 or $14,000 a month. So let's just say you got a $300,000. Like, how long is that gonna really last you? $300,000 house, $200,000 house. And you might have a stroke or something. You get older, you forget to take your blood pressure medicine. You forget. I'm not old, but I be forgetting stuff. I go in the house like, yo, what did I go in the house for? Like, just imagine if like the whole world now is like built on passwords for everything. I need a password for this, a password to open your phone, password, right? It's just, yo, it's not designed for you to get old. Like this country right here is not, bro.
President Biden is our president.
President Biden is the president of the United States of America, and President Trump will be the 47th president.
But I think you made a point that or at least
somebody said, and if you have insurance. Yo, and then there's people that, they try to retire and then they find out like they can't afford to really sustain their lifestyle, so they got to work. But then if they work too much, they could lose benefit. It's like crazy here, bro. So it's like you get just enough to, like, if you don't have a proper retirement, you get just enough to like barely like squeeze by. Then like if you get to the point you can't walk, this country is not designed to like help its like aging population. And like everybody's so caught in the rat race trying to make some money. Like they don't think about restructuring, reorganizing the country to help take care of the aging population. Like they don't, it's like an afterthought. And then you work like 2 or 3 jobs and before you know it, like, where did my time go? And now you need help with something and nobody want to stop and help you. Bro, I'll never forget, I went to New York. I went to, what's the dude that made that song Rebel Yell? Hold on, what is his name? Hold up. I don't know why I'm looking on here. Billy Idol. I went to go see Billy Idol. Shout out to Billy Idol. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to go out to see Billy Idol. I went to go see Billy Idol. You a legend. Shout out to you, right? I went out there, right? I think it was like the day before the concert in New York. I was in Brooklyn. This elderly person had one of them, it's a push thing to like hold the groceries, like steel. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a cart. It's like with a grocery. It's almost like a dolly almost to look like, but smaller and silver. But it's like got a little cage on it. And the dude had fell in the middle of the street. Bruh, everybody was just walking past dude. Didn't even look. I'm like, yo. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a little bit different here. So I stopped and helped the dude out. Got him off the ground. And I'm kind of just looking at people like, what? Y'all ain't gonna help this dude? They didn't even like care to help him. Like that, like, was like, wow. No, it wasn't a grocery cart. It's like a lot of elderly people like who live in New York, they got him. But I'm like, yo, this country is crazy, bro. It's insane. I've seen like people needing help to cross the street and the cops don't even help. It's wild, man. Like they got to do something. Because if you're not rich, it's a wrap. Like when you get everybody want to get old, right? I mean, it's benefits till you can see grandkids and stuff like that. Everybody that had kids, It's crazy.
At least I inferred from a comment that you made a very important point. Folks, there are election improprieties.
Yeah. Oh, Joshua Tiff said they are used to bring their laundry to the cleaners. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Proprieties in every election. The question is a matter of scale and whether or not you can prove it. We've seen it in North Carolina and seen it in other places. It's one of the reasons why I support voter ID, because we want to make elections easy to vote and hard to cheat. But the fact of the matter is people are cheating. So if anybody on this dais suggests that there aren't irregularities in every election, then they need to spend more time at home and really studying the facts. I don't think, though, that you've said that Biden is an illegitimate president. In fact, I think you said just the opposite. He is the president of the United States, and President Trump will be the next president, right?
Yes.
Okay. Last thing before the second round.
All right, so he likes her. Let's go to somebody that doesn't like her. Let me see. He likes her too. Let's go to somebody that don't like her. All right. She's back. Let's see what she's saying.
The Executive Office of Immigration Review within DOJ, there have been a number of things.
Sandra said, I'm 46 and have to write everything down. What's up, Brett? I haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, it's like, I'm like 40. I'm about to turn 41 next month. Like, I would never forget, bro. I went in the house. I thought I knew what I was, bro. I went in the house. I'm like, why did I come in here? Like, I'm like, yo, it gets like this when you get older. Not old, but like older. Like, I can only imagine like 10 years from now, bro. Like, I ain't gonna be able to remember nothing. Yo.
We have talked about with that, and I know, as you are aware, some people call it EOIR, some people call it EOR, but it houses our nation's immigration courts. Over the course of the Biden administration, the immigration court...
Crazy thing, I feel like the Democrats want to get rid of the middle class. That's what I feel.
Backlog has grown from 1.4.
Fred said, I know, I'm glad to see you live right now. Shout out to you.
Million at the end of 2021 to 3.5 million at the end of 2024. Over that same period, the Biden administration pursued policies both at DOJ and DHS to foster a culture within EOR of failure to adjudicate cases. As an example, between FY25 and FY24, immigration judges failed to adjudicate over 340,000 asylum claims. That is compared to just under 13,000 non-adjudicated asylum claims in the previous 6 fiscal years combined. Between cases dismissed, terminations, administrative closures, and failures to adjudicate, EOR during the Biden administration has allowed around 1 million illegal aliens to remain in the United States on an indefinite basis. Now, I've heard Laken Riley brought up multiple times today. Having talked to her parents, no parent should have to go through the heartbreak and tragedy that they have. And we are working diligently to rectify that and ensure that we are keeping Americans safe and secure.
All right, so she likes her. Let's go to somebody that don't like her.
Case was decided by the Supreme Court. Over 100 pregnancy care centers and over 300 churches in this country were attacked, vandalized, firebombed. Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many prosecutions Merrick Garland's Justice Department brought in those cases?
I do not, Senator.
It's a stunning number. It's 2. Hundreds of churches, hundreds of pregnancy care centers. And I might just add, these pregnancy care centers, the attacks on them, which were violent, which were gruesome, were egged on and encouraged by rhetoric from members of Congress, including members of this body, who have said that pregnancy care centers aren't real medicine, that they're not real doctors. They have legitimized these attacks. And the same thing was true of churches. And this...
Jamie said, most people around me affected didn't see it. Nah, me included. Hey, yo, Emma, you done got us to 120-something thousand views. Shout out to you.
Justice Department couldn't lift a finger to defend these Americans, but at the same time, they used legislation, a law known as the FACE Act, to prosecute at least 53 different pro-life demonstrators, including people like Mark Houck from Pennsylvania, to whom this Justice Department sent a SWAT team to his door in the early morning hours. He has, I think, 7 children. In the early morning hours, an FBI SWAT team shows up at his door to take him into custody and prosecute him. By the way, he was acquitted. This kind of outrageous, disparate treatment has to end. So here's my question to you. Will you protect churches and pregnancy care centers when they are targeted for violence, when they are targeted for intimidation, when their members or parishioners are threatened with violence or other acts of illegal behavior?
Yes, Senator.
Will you stop the disparate treatment of Americans on the basis of religious faith?
Yes, Senator.
Will you?
All right, he's giving her an alley-oop. She about to get confirmed.
Is real life. And they want a restoration to equal.
She must be a Republican. She look good to be.
Lives. And then all of a sudden found the FBI or another federal agency or the DOJ knocking at their door. You know, Ms. Bondi, it would make you believe that my colleagues have learned nothing from the elections in November. They don't see this as a movie script that someone may have liked to write. What they see is this is real life. And they want a restoration.
Sandra said, I do not want to get old. Sandra, how old are you?
To equal justice, equal access, equal treatment, abiding by the rule of
Sandra, I think you're 46, right?
law. Many of us have talked.
I don't know. I seen like a lady, she was like 97. She looked like she was like 70 something. And she said she was 97. I was like, what? Wait. It just depends. Like, I don't know. If you take care of yourself.
Today about making America safe again. And in Tennessee, I hear a good bit about this. And as we've discussed your nomination, one of the things I've mentioned
Also, she's Republican too.
to people is your career as a prosecutor. And you have touched on that some today. And you are bringing that insight of being a prosecutor to bear. And
is that Marsha Blackburn? Y'all, is that Marsha Black? I can't see her placard. Let me see.
I do appreciate that. Now, one thing that I think is noteworthy, and in preparation for the hearing.
Yeah, I'll be getting like mad, like text messages from Marsha Blackburn. Like, vote for me.
I looked some of these numbers up. During President Trump's first term, violent crime in this country actually fell.
Yes.
It fell by 17%. And in the first 2 years of the Biden administration, it soared by 43%. This is crime that is taking place in all of our communities. We've seen a rise, whether it's
Brett C said, I'm 44. I'm not too old.
California.
Hey, Brett, man, I'm about to be 41 next month. Like, what am I about to do, bro? Y'all always talk about old. Like, what? Yo, Jamie, how old is you?
Or Tennessee, we have seen a rise. So I want you to talk to Tennesseans, to Californians, to all Americans about what you're going to do to get this crime rate down in this country.
Senator, thank you for that question. And
You know, it's really interesting, though. Like, what can you really do to get the crime rate down in the country? Like, criminals are not watching the news. They're not going to be watching, like, confirmation hearings or what new laws were put into place on, you know, how to prosecute different. Like, they're not going to do that. Like, criminals, they do the crime and then they afterwards they find out what their consequence is going to be. The only thing they could do is like, obviously prosecute crimes, but like, how can you really stop people? You know what I mean? Like maybe try to figure out how to make the United States affordable, right? Because if you could make a United States affordable, people don't have to commit crimes. So it's like figure out a way to do that. Timothy said, "You sincerely saying it? You should be the next president of the United States, the first black president." Sandra said, "I have notebooks, so I write all the passwords down and put in a safe so my kids know in case something happens." Oh, okay.
And despite the questions from Senator Schiff,
They got a lot of Republicans like talking for her. She's gonna get confirmed. Marsha Blackburn is a Republican of Tennessee.
look forward to working with you and the state of California to do everything we can to fight violent crime in California. And you know as well as I, that crime is only going to go through the roof now after these forest fires. You're going to have looting. You're going to have price gouging. You're going to have so many things that I have dealt with in the state of Florida, and I am committed to working with California just as much as I am committed to working with you, Senator Kennedy, in the tragedy that just took place in Louisiana, given all the human beings that were murdered in your state. And we have the Super Bowl coming up in less than 3 weeks now, I believe, Senator. I've been a little busy, but we've got to ensure, if I'm confirmed, that everyone in this country is safe. And I will work with you. I will work with you, Senator. I will work with all of you in this country for everything that Senator Blackburn said. We have got to reduce violent crime, and we have got to restore integrity to our law enforcement officers. Donald Trump, we keep saying he won this election by 77.3 million votes and 312 electoral votes. Look at the map of California, Senator Schiff. It's bright red. The popular vote for...
Yeah, they are turning red.
A reason. People want law and order. They want to be safe so they can go to take their children to school, so they can go to church, Senator Hawley. People want safe streets. Of course we care about our economy and what's happening in this world, but if we're not safe, none of that works. We have got to come together. We have got to work together to make America safe again, and that in turn will make America great again. And I don't know where that phrase has become a bad word, because I think that's a great one. Making America great again.
Let me move on with you to something else that's about law and order, and that is Section 1507. Because making certain that our justices are protected is important. And we also, with our judges, Section 1507 makes illegal any protest outside of a judge's residence if the intent is to influence the judge's decision making. And we have heard about the protest outside of justices' homes where they were shouting loud and clear things like, and I'm quoting some of that, "If you take away our choice..."
She's got a sigh of relief. Marsha Blackburn's throwing her like a line. Like, nice.
"We will riot," end quote. Another one, "No privacy for us, no peace for you," end quote. In other words, if the justices did not vote to uphold Roe and Casey, the protesters would continue to harass them. Despite this clear violation of the law, Merrick Garland did not bring a single charge, not one single charge, under Section 1507. Will you commit to faithfully enforcing Section 1507 as Attorney General?
I will faithfully enforce that law and all laws that I am asked to review. And Senator, I watched that on TV and it horrified me. The protesters outside their houses. You can't do that for a reason, because our justices have to remain safe and unbiased and protected from threats, as do we all. But they do enjoy a special protection. And yes, that should be enforced.
And thank you, Ms. Bondi. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. We'll now have our second round that I announced.
I mean, I know, I get it. Like, justices do have special protections, but it don't seem like they be protecting us.
Earlier, we'll each have 4
seem like they be protecting them businesses.
minutes. When we were talking in my office, I brought up the importance.
Oh, he likes her. Let's go ahead.
And I abhor it when it comes to Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked in his home,
That was horrible.
which we should all say unequivocally both are unacceptable.
Wait, he was attacked in his house? Nancy Pelosi's husband? Wait. On October 28, 2022, David D. Pape attacked Paul Pelosi, the husband of Nancy Pelosi, the 52nd Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. He beat Pelosi with a hammer during a home invasion of the couple's Pacific Heights, San Francisco residence, leaving him with a fractured skull that required surgery. Wow. And he still went on to like make millions and millions of dollars in the stock market. What? It was his house. Yeah, like, that's crazy. Yo, but Nancy Pelosi's, you know, y'all can't keep playing with Americans. Like, they gon', you know, some people gonna revolt.
I think you agree, correct?
Horrible.
All right. I guess as I reflect on what you've said today, a couple things.
So was it a lover dispute going wrong? It says man who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband gets life in prison. Oh, yeah, he could have unalived them. Like, let's see. Yeah, hit him with a hammer. Like, what? That's him right there. It says San Francisco, the man who was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for attacking the husband of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was with a hammer in their California home was sentenced Tuesday to life in prison without the possibility of parole following a separate state trial. A San Francisco jury in June found David DePape guilty of charges including aggravated kidnapping, first-degree burglary, and false imprisonment of an elder. Before issuing the sentence, Judge Harry Duffman dismissed arguments from DePape's attorney that he be granted a new trial for the 2022 attack against Paul Pelosi, who was 82 years at the time. Oh, wow, he's older. And my intentions that Mr. DePape will never get out of prison. He can never be paroled. That's crazy. He's 82 years old and you attack that man? What did he do? David DePape. I want to see if they got the sentencing.
Surprised me. I did not expect you to be as outspoken as you are about Kash Patel. He's been characterized as a professional career defense attorney and a career prosecutor. That's a pretty amazing achievement in his life. But he also has said and done some things which are impossible to understand in justice.
They didn't allow the cameras in there for the sentence. I mean, but he got life.
Justify. For example, are you familiar with something called the QAnon conspiracy?
I mean, they only like really prosecuted him like that, give him that much time because it was Nancy Pelosi and the husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that would have been a regular person, he probably would have got like 10 years.
I've heard of it, but I do not know what it is, but I've heard of it many times, Senator.
So let me tell you what I've learned about it. Its core belief is that a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic child molesters are embedded within our government and are conspiring against President-elect Trump. They asked Mr. Patel about it, and he said, quote, "I agree with a lot that the movement says." End of quote. Does that sound like a good preparation to run the FBI?
Senator, I don't know anything about, I had heard of QAnon, but I've never heard that definition attached to it at all. You're going to have to ask Mr. Patel about those statements.
We will. And I'll tell you, until we get answers to those questions, I don't know many people on this side of the table will give him an unequivocal endorsement. This and his enemies list, what he calls his government gangsters, This is what you expect of Stasi. This is what you expect of secret police. It is not what you expect of justice in America, as you've even described it at the table today. So I would say this unequivocal support of Mr. Patel should at least have some reservation until he explains some of these outrageous positions he has taken.
I look forward to hearing his testimony about QAnon in front of this committee.
You will.
Yeah, I know. Like, what you asking her for, bro?
Let me say another word about January 6th and what happened. We lived through it, many of us. We'll never forget it. To think that the United States of America's Capitol building was desecrated by an insurrectionist mob that came in and did horrible things, particularly to our police force, that keeps you safe as you sit there and keeps us safe every single day. Over 100 of them were attacked by these demonstrators. One, Kenneth Bonowitz, a member of the so-called Proud Boys, another alt-right group, assault.
Timothy said, I noticed the people are wearing gloves to move on her at any moment. Yo, Jamie said, or is it the anti-Illuminati?
Assaulted at least 6 officers, placed one in a chokehold and lifted him up by the neck. Bonowitz injured one officer so severely he had to retire. Kyle Fitzsimmons, convicted for 5 separate assaults against law enforcement, including one that caused a career-ending and life-altering injury to U.S. Capitol Police Sergeant Aquilino Ganell. Can you understand why when Donald Trump says, the day I am inaugurated as president, I will issue a blanket pardon to these, quote, political prisoners? We view this with an outrage on our side. These men and women risk their lives for us every day, and they almost died. Some of them did die in the course of this attack. Why aren't we treating them as such, and why do you have to reserve judgment? Vice President Vance didn't when he was asked this week. He said that pardon should not be extended to those who were guilty of violence against policemen.
Yeah, and Senator, I do not agree with violence against anyone, but especially police officers. And every time I've been walking through these halls, meeting with all of you, the men and women of the Capitol Police Department are incredible. They do a great job. They deserve to be safe. And I do not agree with violence against any police officer.
I would hope.
I never have, Senator.
You weren't able to answer my question affirmatively earlier, but I would hope that if this moves forward in a positive way on your nomination, you will speak up at some point on behalf of these police officers who are keeping you safe today and your family safe.
What y'all think about the police, though? I know y'all not gonna like to. I think we do need some, the police.
Okay. Before Senator Graham, I want to enter into the record without objection from the members of this committee letters from law enforcement groups who support Ms. Bondi's nomination. These groups include the Fraternal Order of Police, the National Sheriff's Association, the National Association of Police Organizations. They praise her, quote, support for law enforcement, crime prevention, and public safety. And
he's been going hard for her. He like, nah, we getting my girl in.
Term. And you will be running an Environment and Natural Resources Division that has things like, for instance, a methane task force that big polluters who spent big money to get President Trump reelected don't like. And they're going to be coming to you to say, hey, we don't want a whole lot of enforcement on this. Methane leaks, carbon dioxide leaks, it's a pollutant, polluting our water, polluting our air. Will you be strong when that happens?
Senator, if you haven't learned yet, I'm pretty strong and I'm pretty independent. And I will, I think you and I spoke about this in your office a bit. I don't know a lot about that issue, but I am.
All right, so I think we need more police, bro. Because people start speeding down the street, like acting crazy. Like, we need more police. I don't care what nobody said. People can get mad. Somebody said spend more money on law enforcement doesn't mean more officers. It means better officers that also have the support they need. Timothy said, I didn't like how he said about you will speak up when I say this. And then Dan said he deserves status, lets him get away from his job for a bit from time to time. Trey Stevens said the crazy thing is that the Capitol Police had a report dated December 22nd, the new 2 weeks in advance, that was going to go down January 6th, and they did nothing. They buried the report until January 8th. Hey, that committee is losing information right now before Trump gets in office. No, but they are hoping to be pardoned. The committee that was against January 6th are hoping to get unconditional pardon so that Trump doesn't seek revenge.
I'm committed to meeting with the ENRD division and talking to you about it. I wish I knew more about the issue you faced, but I don't. But I'm committed to absolutely looking at it and doing what I can to help you in your state.
I don't want environmental prosecutions to be an ignored stepchild subset. It's law just like any other law. The second question that I'd like to get to goes back to Chairman Grassley's opening comments, that it's going to be really important for the Department of Justice, under your leadership, to answer questions from senators, both Republican and Democrat, and to give us real answers. Sometimes the best oversight comes from the other party. And indeed, sometimes the best oversight comes from one senator who sticks to one issue and persists at it without necessarily support from the rest of the committee. And that oversight has been really consequential in the past, and it's really important.
Hey, Unpop, he said Piper Boy loves Whitey. Man, I want my community to be safe. I don't think like people selling drugs on the street is like trying to be Jay-Z is a cool thing. Like, I don't, like, if I buy a house, I don't want that around my area. I want police to stop that. Like, it's what it is, man. I like the black thing that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like we love drugs. Like, no. No, I want my community safe. I don't want my kids around that. I grew up in the ghetto. I don't want that. Like, I didn't work hard to buy a house to have that. Like, no.
So Chairman Grassley has been very good about trying to enforce that rule. And I want to tell you.
Yeah, Jordan said the guilty ones always need the pardon before the fact.
Just a quick story about something that.
And then Dan said we need more enforcements. Many get caught and then released. They are encouraged to do it more. Look at theft in Cali before the new laws passed.
Went the wrong way, I believe.
Yeah, Jarhead, it's just what it is, man. Like, and now I understand the dilemma that Candace Owens is in, because it's like she's trying to educate people and be like, oh, she just loves white people, like, and it's like she be advocating for black people. She's just like, yo, just getting a little bit more educated on this topic and this topic and this topic. Some things that's being marketed to you is not like good for you, and she says things like, and they like, oh, well, we don't like her. She married a white man. Like, it's just anything. But then as soon as you say you're chiefing on a, you know what I'm saying? And then like, oh yeah, you're good. Like, no, bro, we got to change our ways.
Crossfire Hurricane was mentioned by Senator Graham. There was a committee investigation into Crossfire Hurricane. During that Crossfire Hurricane investigation, box loads of material was provided by the department and the Bureau to Senate Republicans. They got files, they got investigative reports, they got internal memos, they got stuff that would not be FOIA-able. They really were able to do a deep dive because they got everything they asked for, even stuff that the FBI would ordinarily not produce. That was happening on that side of the aisle. For me, I had questions about Justice Kavanaugh's supplemental.
But I gotta get out of here, y'all. But shout out to everybody. TikTok is back up. Shout out to Trump. You know what I mean? Everybody that's been commenting, and like y'all see, like it doesn't have to be everything in favor of what I'm saying. I will like read your comments even if it's not like in favor. Jamie said, we all bless red, y'all. We are all on the same team at the end. Shout out to Jamie for being a member on the channel. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. We will be back live talking politics. You know, I may end up covering the the inauguration. I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I don't care what nobody says. Shout out to Trump, shout out to everybody. But I'm out. Come ready, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. And I think we got like 500 subscribers today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all that's been subscribing. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.